And ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome back to the now annual Saturday Morning Fragcast.
Yep.
I am your co-host Victor von Fragenstein.
And I'm Gapper.
And we are back with our usual roundup of E3 surprises, hypes, not so hypes, disappointments.
E3 2019.
E3 2019. Yeah. Normally I'd say that it's time to lube up and ride that hype train, but to be honest,
we're dry.
We're absolutely dry. The hype train is, it's only a couple of cars long. It's lacking in girth compared to previous years.
Yeah. I don't know how much we want to go into off the bat, but I just want to say, I'm just excited for things I was already excited about, and just kind of excited about old things that they're making again.
Yeah, pretty much. To be honest, I think if I were to pick a theme for this E3, it would be more of the same. Yeah. There's not a lot new, and what was new is not as interesting as what was old that's being refreshed, to be honest.
It's I'm excited for games that I, maybe half played as a kid, or...
Yeah, exactly. I never beat that back when it was 8-bit. Now let's play it while it's in glorious HD.
But it is on the... Well, I don't know, we'll get into it with the conferences, but we are kind of in the change in the industry and generations. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was kind of one of the things Sony notably absent this year. Their only real announcement being that there's a new console coming in 2020. And I am forced to admit, though, that it looks like Death Stranding is a real game. It's not just a joke by Mads Mikkelsen, Norman Reedus, and Hideo Kojima anymore.
So I didn't watch that trailer. I wanted to know for years, but then I saw it was like a 9-minute or 18-minute.
Yeah,
it was a long trailer, and I was just like, okay, maybe I don't want to know what this game is, and I'll just go into it not knowing.
Yeah, I think honestly, with Kojima, you could think you know exactly.
So
what it is.
I didn't watch it, and maybe I will, but I'm excited for it, so I think I might just stay
exactly. A game that didn't even get an E3 presentation is probably one of the things I'm most excited about. Yeah. One thing I will say though is that although there was not a whole lot to show, they did keep most of the presentations short and sweet compared to previous years. I think there was only one or two that clocked in over 3 hours. Most of them were around the hour and a half mark.
Well, you know what? And even after just kind of general overview of all of them, I watched only a few of them live.
Yeah.
And then just going through to the other ones that even were 2 hours. Yeah. They were just kind of just boring. I was just like, can we shorten these down a bit?
Yeah.
But I did find I really liked the way just in general layout Nintendo did it. It was just here's a little goofy thing with Bowser. And they just went to games.
Exactly. Well, Nintendo... Oh, where's my mom's cat coming in to say hi? I know we've had cat interrupting us in the process. This one's really loud, but the internet loves cats, so I think we'll be okay. Boots, you get your fat butt out of here.
That's a no.
That's a no. Anyway, let's continue. But
there was a few, Ubisoft really had the classic conference of hey, here's some developer you don't really care about, gonna talk about nothing. And
I think though they've definitely trimmed down on that mostly.
Yeah,
which is a good thing. But on the other hand, it really made you feel how little innovation there was to show this time around.
And Microsoft's kind of in between where they'll show a big string of trailers. And then you'll get the chat of gaming comes out. Phil.
Yeah,
and then
Phil comes out.
He just comes in and talks a bit, and then a few other people. But
well, I think we'll get to it when we get to the individual conferences. But there were a couple people who usually talk a lot that didn't talk a whole lot this year. So, but moving on, let's get into the games,
into the specific
stuff. So we started with EA, and to be honest,
real E3,
not real E3, but it was a presentation that may as well have been real E3. So and in fact, I don't know why it wasn't, except for maybe they didn't have to rent a theater for as much.
Yeah. So you watch this one. I just want to make sure I watched the right thing.
Okay.
So, because I didn't watch it live, because I wasn't really going to pay attention.
I didn't watch most of them live.
I'm very anti-EA after some certain things.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
And they faked E3. They faked E3 2017, 2018. They faked it all.
Yeah.
And this is some moon conspiracy levels of just everybody's faking E3.
Flatters.
So you can't. E3 flat game company. All right.
Flat game company. Okay. Well, we started off.
So they were outside, right? In a little hut, and there was a couple things.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Let's go.
So assuming we watched the same one, they started with Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Which honestly looks kind of interesting. I actually really like the idea of it basically looks like Star Wars meets God of War style. I think Total Biscuit coined the term spectacle fighter, which I like for this type of game. The God of War,
that's a good term.
Kind of game. I actually like the concept, but I was a little disappointed with the footage they showed. It looked, for what it was, a little slow, and the motion capture actor looked like he was drunk or something, the way the guy was walking around.
Is the character... So when I saw the trailer, is it the redheaded kid from Shameless?
I don't know. I never actually stopped
the character
to pause
actor?
and think about that
because I saw some other trailers when they first showed the gameplay on other trailers.
Yeah.
And I didn't really see anything, didn't really notice anything. But I watched a trailer last night of Fallen Order, and I was like, is that the... I think he plays Joker in Gotham, as a kid.
Oh, well, I'm honestly going to
I was trying to figure out if that was who it was.
Yeah. Interesting. But I like the concept, so I really hope they develop this a little bit better. A couple of really stupid jokes in there about the high ground and a couple of other things, so at least they're a little bit self-aware. I like the idea that it's going to be part of the ongoing canon now.
And it's Respawn, so wall running's going to be sick.
Wall running's going to be sick, yeah. It's kind of funny, because I think when they got into the little talking segment, before I started skipping through it, as I am wont to do these days, they were mentioning just if you didn't know this was a Respawn game, you never would have guessed it was a Respawn game. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure we would have known.
Oh, yeah.
It's
definitely
not a thing. And the AI looked absolutely terrible. I know they're supposed to be stormtroopers, but you see them just kind of come out and stand there and stuff. So I don't know if this was on game journalist difficulty mode for E3, or whether or not they're going to tone that up a bit.
Don't want to make it look too... You can't make it look anything like Sekiro, or else everyone's going to cry about it. So...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think, too, maybe we'll pause after the first presentation, because this is really short, and talk about what we thought about the games we saw from last year that have been released in the meantime.
Yeah, no, that could be an interesting...
Yeah, we'll add that in, because there were a couple that we have a little bit of commentary on. The other thing I thought, when they have that droid sneak up behind him, did it not look like the droid was coming up and giving him an unsolicited finger in the anus? It just walks behind him, and you just see his hand thrust downwards, and I'm just like, that's not safe for work. Why are you showing this at E3?
Yeah. Hey,
but yeah.
It might be fake. Who knows? Just disclaimer, it could all be fake.
Could all be fake. So yeah, this is the thing. I honestly really, if it were not EA, I would be pretty hyped for this game, except for the fact that it's EA, so the final product is going to be probably nowhere near as good as what the trailer looks like.
You know what? Respawn has a great track record.
They do?
They've made some good games. They made some good games that then immediately died.
Yeah. Problem is EA has a habit of acquiring people that make good games and then stopping them from making good games. So
we'll see. BioWare. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that. So,
so I don't know. I only really had a couple notes on here because
that's about it.
Skipped through most of it.
Same.
So they're just talking about a new hero, Watson, for Apex.
Apex. Honestly, I don't do the whole battle royale thing. I'm not one of these people who necessarily shit on it. It's just not for me. I never played Apex, so the fact that they're adding to it really isn't anything meaningful to me. So great if you like Apex.
Yeah, for me,
there's more content coming.
I played it for a couple weeks.
Yep.
But then just some other games came out, and then I just kind of never went back.
That's how I've been with every battle royale game.
Yeah, I'm not a big battle royale fan at all. I've never played Fortnite. I
haven't played Fortnite.
Hate PUBG.
Same.
Didn't play. I didn't really play any of them.
The only one I've played much was the Call of Duty one. I played a little bit of, but even then, not a lot.
Yeah, I played Blackout. Blackout was fun until it just wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was. We were all enjoying ourselves, but then all of a sudden something just happened and we all hated it. So
yeah, that's pretty much how it goes with these battle royales. They run their course really quick.
Yeah, I know, but Apex came out and I really enjoyed it. I really liked the squad mechanics, how they had heroes, the graphics. All the guns I already knew from Titanfall.
Yep.
And it was a really cool, great game, real popular, had great viewer numbers. I really enjoyed it. A lot of my friends, they all downloaded it and we had a lot of fun, but I don't know what happened. I'm not sure what I think it might be just an expectation thing on our end now.
I think with battle royale type games, that's what it comes to now. Is that it is such an oversaturated genre at this point. It's really hard to keep the interest in it. This kind of comes and goes with the game industry. Something gets popular. luckily they're almost dying out. We'll get to the commentary when we get to them later, but the whole voxel Minecraft thing was a while. There was 30 of those games coming out every year.
Well, I find with those ones, it's kind of like the old, like World of Warcraft WoW killers. Like, we're having this WoW killer.
Yeah.
And you'd go against the existing game like WoW that already had, like, millions of players.
Yeah.
Like, hundreds of hours of content. Then your new game comes out that's supposed to be the WoW killer.
Yeah.
But you barely have the content up to level 60, and there isn't WoW, and you don't have the time or the money to make enough content to beat the original game. So I find that's happening a lot. But they did a lot of good things. They just couldn't keep their momentum over Fortnite, because Fortnite is just constantly new content, new leagues, all kinds of crazy stuff. I think they were too slow.
I think Fortnite just knows
battle pass more characters.
I think Fortnite just knew its audience better. You know, Apex they treated, because it's true that the audience, the gamers who like Battle Royale, is not necessarily your typical gaming audience. It's typically much younger.
Yeah.
They prefer shorter things. They have really short attention spans. Everything's got to be new. It's got to be Twitch streamable.
Yeah.
All this kind of stuff. So it's certainly a very large audience, but it is not necessarily having a ton of overlap with the typical audience. So I think that's where Fortnite really outpaced Apex.
Well, and I found with that, they didn't have enough, like, I know, I grew up playing games where you just played the game to play the game.
Yeah.
But now I guess that's not good enough for me anymore for some weird reason. It's like, within a couple days of Apex, I'm like, well, another map would be cool, or maybe a few more heroes.
This is true, but to be fair, there weren't too many games when we were growing up where you just played the same level over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Unless you really sucked.
In Halo 2, we would play Lockout.
Okay, well that's fair. But anyway, I don't think we want to spend too much time on this.
No, definitely not. But hey, we have more content there than EA had in their whole conference.
Yeah, well, exactly. So there we go.
But yeah, no, new hero Watson makes like energy walls to stop people from rushing in. So adds some more meta to the game. But other than that.
If you like Apex Legends, looks like you're up for some new content, which is awesome.
So that's really all I had. I tried to skip around. Was that it?
That's all I had for that. I had a note about Battlefield 5 here. At this point, I've noticed
they did talk
at the little sidebar. I will say I appreciate EA giving us the courtesy of telling us approximately what they're talking about when, so I knew when to skip to. I noticed a full third of this presentation is just about games already released. So they're talking about Battlefield 5. No one likes this game. It's probably the least interesting in the Battlefield series. It did terrible on release compared to the rest. I appreciate the idea of supporting games post-release, etc., but given the production cycle on Battlefield-type games, just move on to the next one. This one was a bit of a flop. Move on.
Although, you know what? With Battlefront 2, they have actually really supported that game long term. They just put the Droidekas in. They've added a whole bunch of heroes.
And interestingly enough, it was completely absent from their E3 presentation.
And they took it they talked about it last year, and it actually made me last year's E3 made me go back and play it when they showed the Ewok hunt.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, that's really cool. We played it, and there wasn't really enough people at the time to play. We couldn't really get a good game, but it was fun the little bit I played. But yeah, no, they've actually kept adding content, so if they had talked about that, I think that would have been cool. But other than that, EA doesn't have a good track record of bringing games back.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, I'll just leave and never come back.
Though I got a note here later that they went on about Sims 4, now talking about a game that
came
out in 2014.
Yeah, I skipped all that. I just don't care about those
Well, you can
games.
see why they didn't pay for an E3 spot if they're talking about games from 5 years ago. And then, of course, if you're a fan of FIFA or Madden, okay, there's a new season coming out for you. Great.
Not interested.
Overall, I put down that EA could be a 9 out of 10 or a 2 out of 10, but I can't tell because I skipped 90% of it because it just isn't relevant to me.
Yeah, I saw the two things I kind of cared about. I skipped through the rest.
Yeah.
One thing, though, for EA that might be worrying them on an executive level is the new bills they're trying to pass in America for banning loot boxes from games.
Yeah, honestly, I have a note about this for some of the ones mentioned later because when we get to Squeenix, because they're bringing over some of the Japanese phone RPGs, which are heavily dependent on that gacha system. And I'm honestly one of the people who hope they legislate this out of existence, because in honesty, all it is recognizing a gambling service as a gambling service. You should not have 12-year-olds gambling on this stuff, and their whole business model is based on more or less
95 out of 100 Ronaldo instead of 55.
Exactly,
like,
and kids who just don't understand it. So I do hope, honestly, I'm not a big fan of government legislating my video games,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I think this is more just saying, you know what, it's gambling. If you're not old enough to gamble in a casino, why should you do it in a video game where you can't even win money? All you're going to win is a slightly
you win a
better
digital thing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm fine. I play some games where I pay money for cosmetics.
Yep.
My one game I'm playing like crazy right now, PoE, free-to-play game. You can just kind of pay for convenience in your stash and then just pay for sweet cosmetics.
Yeah, I play Path of Exile for ways.
And I buy the supporter packs every couple seasons because they make a great product, and I would be willing to support games like that.
Yeah.
Even have a season pass, or be able to just buy the stuff you want.
Yeah. Okay, great. This
get
character.
Loot boxes.
Yeah, there was an older game. It's gone now. It was a Marvel game for Facebook that I played called Avengers Online. There's probably been 40 games by that title, to be honest. But this one was interesting in that when new heroes came out, instead of there was no gambling, what there was
you got hero shards.
You got hero shards or something like that. But there was no randomness involved, so you could just grind the game and get it, or if you wanted, you just bought a pack of hero shards, which you then spent on whichever guys you want. There was no random or luck factor involved. And that, to me, is the way to do it, because that way, okay, fine, you don't want to pay, because it was a free game, I should add.
Yeah.
So, you don't want to pay the money? Fine. Just play the game a bunch. If you like it, eventually you'll have enough to get the guys you want. Yeah. And that's kind of the way to go, I think, is to get rid of that randomness. I understand games got to support themselves somehow. It can't just be free. But at the same time, the lack of randomness, I think, is a big thing.
Well, and
it'll
be
interesting to see what happens to the games that rely entirely on it, like, say, Clash Royale, which is a very fun game. But, like, if you can't buy premium chests that are random anymore, that game's model goes right through the floor.
Yeah.
So
that would be interesting for those games. But I think, even for FIFA, I guess you just have to...
Yeah. Why are there loot boxes in a soccer game?
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I guess. Oh, and they just totally don't support the old game modes. The only thing they add content and support is the Ultimate Team modes. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll have to make real games again to sell games.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, let's move on.
Moving on. So Xbox, which had a much stronger showing.
Very kind of
very rapid fire. It's very similar.
A nice modern conference where they kind of show strings of games and then have a little bit of talking with the executives and that.
Not a lot though, and I like the fact that they're not too much. And I like the fact this to me is a good conference that shows how to generate hype for stuff. This is what E3 is about to me. Microsoft had a good hype train. You know what I mean?
And so I watched this one live, and you kind of know, it's like, okay, are they going to start with Halo? Like, are they going to start with Gears? Like, and then okay, then it's going to be maybe a few other smaller games, because they have a very good pace to their conference of, like, big thing, a couple little things, huge thing, couple little things.
And they've played to the live audience, because he came right at the start. He's like, by the way, we're going to show you 60 games today. Yeah. Now, some of them got 30 seconds each.
Yeah, some of them are in a montage, but hey, some of those games in the montage, I actually went back to watch to try to get their names because they looked interesting.
Yeah, I got a lot of little notes here, so why don't we get right into that?
We started with the Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
So that was one that was going to be Epic exclusive, I believe.
Yes.
And now Microsoft will have it.
Well, I'm going to say it's interesting. This sounds really weird, so. Getting off on a slight tangent, fuck Epic exclusives. Fuck any asshole who wants to bring exclusivity to fucking PC.
Yeah.
I didn't build...
Don't bring your console wars here.
Yeah, we've spent a long time getting away from that. So I will literally buy things on what works out to be an inferior console to dodge fucking buying from the Epic store. If you're listening, Epic, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, no, I have a complete ban on. I will wait for Borderlands. I'll wait for a game if it is a timed exclusive, and if it's a full forever exclusive,
I just won't play it. They don't have anything good enough for. I mean, I know they've got their they're all pumped up because of Fortnite. Yeah. But you know what? I'm sorry. If you have to literally buy out other companies before they'll sell your game on your store,
it's pretty shitty. Like,
really shitty.
It's like, okay, you lucked out with your game that you repurposed on another game. All right, I'll give you that. That's awesome. You guys hit the fucking jackpot. But like, leave your bullshit.
Exactly.
Leave your bullshit with consoles.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry. Getting back to the
free
actual
PC.
actual good free PC. There we go. So Microsoft. The Outer Worlds neat.
It was going to be on Xbox to begin with, but
now it'll be on the
Microsoft Store. And you know what I want to say? I was a Xbox kind of fanboy.
Yeah.
pretty much my whole time. And then I started, was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah, about
now?
2 or 3 years ago.
Maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah.
4 years ago, I started getting into PC gaming.
Yeah.
And I still would go back and play a few games on Xbox, but I'm now pretty much, I'll wait for stuff to come to PC.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of Microsoft because they're actually supporting PC more and more now.
Yeah, well, and they're offering a lot of stuff with cross-play or
cross-play,
you save progress,
saves,
etc. It's a brilliant idea because why not?
Buying the game on Xbox, you also get it on PC.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
maybe we'll get into the other announcement maybe later. Now we're just getting more, and they're helping us defeat Epic and giving us a game back to PC.
And I'll say this: I was never a huge Microsoft fanboy. I haven't been really a console player, with the exception of the Nintendo systems, just because they have all the weird, quirky stuff for the last probably 10 years.
Yeah.
But Microsoft, if I buy a console in the next couple of years, it's probably going to be an Xbox because I can have my Xbox here and I can bring my laptop with me, and if I can play the same game on it on the road, like that's absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. But anyway, getting back to the game at hand, kind of sci-fi Wild West, Outer Worlds thing.
It looks interesting. Neat. The art style looks cool. I really like the shrink ray gun look neat. So it's like they're gonna have some fun, interesting guns.
Yeah,
I like the setting and the visuals of the whole kind of world. I kind of like the kind of future but kind of retro look it kind of had.
Though I did note the first two games in the Microsoft presentation, we'll get to the next one in a second, both kind of stole the Borderlands aesthetic.
You know what? I'm fine with that. I like that look. Maybe not so much for the next game, but it looked nice with the Outer Worlds. So I think this will be one I don't know if I would buy it day one. I wouldn't say like, oh man, like this is all I'm thinking about. That's classic WoW currently.
Yeah.
But no, it looks cool. I think
cool.
I would get it, maybe wait a bit,
again,
see what people are saying.
There's with the Microsoft conference, there wasn't a whole lot of footage or anything. It was mostly just teasers, so it's really hard to say. But I say this teaser has done its job. It's got me intrigued.
Yeah, I'm interested. And I would say that is kind of a thing across the board is too much CGI, not enough gameplay. But I think the problem with that is because we are between the consoles now, they probably don't have any footage to show.
No, the in-development stuff will be so alpha that you can't even see it. And again, you know what? If you're going to show 60 games in an hour and a half, I think their conference was, you can't really devote a 5-minute gameplay video to each, otherwise some are only going to get 10 sequels. So the next one, Bleeding Edge, didn't really show a whole lot.
No, so it looks like some sort of weird melee hero fighter thing.
I mean, it looked to me, they said, it's Ninja Theory. It kind of looks like the game Ninja Theory will be good at. I'm not a huge fan of them, nor an anti-fan. It just looked interesting enough. Yeah. Again, it was enough. I think the goal of the Microsoft conference was to get us so that, okay, we're going to Google all this stuff afterwards and stuff. Yeah. And
I had to go back and watch again.
And it has definitely piqued my interest enough.
So like the only thing I know from what was that one they did last? It was Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, right? Yeah. And it's like, that to this is a little kind of crazy, but I would have really liked to see them do another game with just the way they did the sounds. Yeah. In that, but hey,
Hellblade was a big sleeper hit to me. I had not heard of it or anything.
I played it in one setting, and
it's just a really cool idea.
Really
well, and that whole idea of the protagonist being not quite all there, and it was really anyway. If you haven't played that one.
Check
grab
that out.
it on a Steam sale.
They're cool studios, so hopefully this is fun. But right now, I'm really not. Really interested. No. It's there. Hey, it looks fun. People probably enjoy it. That maybe the game's not for me. So,
exactly.
Hey,
honestly, there wasn't a whole lot to tell from. Next on, we had Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yeah.
I loved Ori and the Blind Forest.
I bought it. I played a little bit of it, but I'm really not. I wasn't too into it.
It was honestly, to me, it was a throwback. Like, I love the kind of Metroidvania, okay, explore, find a new power to explore a new area, etc. And this was a kind of a very charming way of doing it. This, honestly, there was some really cool looking shit in this trailer.
Aesthetically it looks nice, but I'm just not really too into the game.
That's fair enough. And as a note, my wife loves owls, and there's a big owl riding sequence, so she's going to be real happy, unless a monster eats the owl, which, given that it's an Ori game, is quite possible, because the first one, if you don't know, starts out pretty dark.
It's pretty,
for being such kind of a kiddish aesthetic, it's a bit of a dark storyline. But so that's February. I put release dates for the ones that have it. It's February 2020. So I'll probably give it a go. But these ones, I will say,
is it weird saying it now? 2020, like
2020,
2020, like
2020.
We're there.
2020.
It's 2020.
Well, not quite. Was it 2077?
Yeah,
not quite there yet.
Well, no, that's where the game currently. Like, I bought all the Cyberpunk 2020 books.
Yeah,
and it's like, where's this 2020?
Yeah,
like,
where's
come
this
on.
2020?
Like,
exactly.
I mean, we're almost kind of there, but
well,
the timeline of stuff's everything cool happened in the 90s.
Well, it's like with me, right? We've passed the Back to the Future dates now and everything else, so we're getting there. We're
coming out in
2020.
Just to think about that, it's kind of funny.
Think about that. Anyway, moving on to the next one. We got Minecraft Dungeons Spring 2020.
I'm pumped.
My biggest note: cubes, motherfucker.
I'm fucking pumped. All right, I love ARPGs. I love Diablo.
It looks like Minecraft and Diablo, though.
I
honestly,
love PoE. If it can make more people interested in Minecraft or in Diablo
it's
and PoE,
possible to make more people interested in Minecraft.
I'm pumped. I think this is great for the genre, and because I love this genre.
Fair enough. I honestly wasn't too impressed.
Rip PoE, Diablo. That's all I gotta say.
But yeah, I wasn't honestly that big interested in the combat by the look of it. It looked a little janky, but the idea is not bad.
You sound like a Diablo show right now.
Yeah, to be honest though,
you're worried.
Well, fair enough. We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know. I'm actually pumped for that.
No, it does look. It's a fun idea.
It looks fun.
It's a fun idea. So then, yeah. So then I just got a big note that says, here comes Phil.
Yeah, I have Phil, creators creating, and they're creative.
Yes.
Creators.
This is basically, it's like Barack Obama's political campaign. Change. Creators being creative, creating creative things.
The gamer.
Yes, you the gamer. And then they did a little bit.
Love that guy, though, by the way.
60 games coming up, cool.
And then
new console.
They showed more
Star Wars.
Fallen Order. Blair Witch.
You know what? Honestly, when I first saw this, I thought it was going to be Outlast 3.
Yeah. My one friend and I, we got in a fight arguing who said Outlast first, because we were sure we were right.
Yeah,
and then my other friend who said Blair Witch at the end was like, see, you guys are fucking idiots.
To be fair, it really did look like a trailer for Outlast 3. It looks like a proper spooky, trippy horror game. Honestly, I mean, the genre's done to death. So we're going to have to see whether or not there's going to be anything interesting come of it. But it looks like if you're the kind of person who likes to record Let's Plays of you screaming into the camera with shit jumping out, this could be the game for you.
Yeah.
Not my type of game personally, because I really get annoyed, and this is, you have to know me a little bit in real life for this. I'm a former mixed martial artist. I teach it professionally. I get mad at antagonists who are not at least as proficient as I am. So when I see people like running away from something that I'm just like, I'd choke that motherfucker out, that annoys me. But that being said, if you like that kind of genre, it looks like it's going to be a good...
I haven't played the Outlast games, so I kind of want to just play one just for the scares, but I don't know. I have a hard enough time falling asleep a lot of the time, so
fair enough.
If it did what was to scare me, I don't really need that. So
that's fair enough.
I just want to kind of, I don't know, I like jump scares a bit, so it'd be fun.
Well, I think that looks like it'd be good for that. You know? Outlast is, by the way, if you haven't played, if you like that genre, is great. Again, to me, it's done to death. So, but it does look... I prefer ones that are more like this and less the Five Nights at Freddy's. You've got 3 buttons and you're just waiting for shit to jump out at you kind of thing. So, so then moving on, one of the most anticipated games probably in recent history, CD Projekt Red's most recent offering, Cyberpunk 2077, release date announced, April 16th, 2020.
Yep.
So still a bit of waiting to go.
I'm taking the whole week off.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, here's the thing. I'm trying to restrain myself because for those who are not aware, the first 2 Witcher games weren't that great. They were decent games, but they were really janky and niche.
I tried to play 2.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was like hearing about it, and I tried to play 2.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't think I can get into this game.
No, it is really not.
And then you were the one that got me into Witcher 3.
Yes.
So this is all your... Thank you, man. Thank you.
I got you into the Gwent life.
You got me into the Gwent life. And then
So I'm hoping there's some futuristic version of Gwent in this, to be honest.
So, we just see a CGI trailer. No gameplay.
No.
But they did show 48 minutes of gameplay last year.
Yes.
And then they are showing gameplay at the conference to, like, YouTubers and
they have a booth
whatever.
or thing set up.
So then we'll probably get it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Probably in the next couple months. So there is gameplay. I don't know. People were talking about it. Sounds cool. talk about the trailer.
Yep.
I'm calling fake fans on everybody already. All right,
just because they're all just here for Keanu.
Yeah,
Reeves.
they're all just here for Keanu. I was freaking out when I saw the Silver Hand. All right, and I watched a whole bunch of reaction videos to it. No one else is freaking out about the Silver Hand. Fake fans. Everyone only reacted to Keanu.
Well, for the way I noticed is that if you can't have Geralt of Rivia, you may as well have John Wick.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, Johnny. I was so pumped that Johnny Silverhand showing up, and it happens to be Keanu Reeves. Pretty cool. I was just pumped to. Oh man, I saw the flicker because, as everyone should know that are fans of this game, he's dead. Maybe. But yeah, he's hologram flickering. Saw it Silverhand, my favorite rocker boy.
Nice.
Let's go.
No, I'm looking at this game again. CD Projekt Red has really come into their own. So I'm hoping that they take what they've learned from The Witcher, and because it looks fantastic.
The world, I love the world. I want everything. I went back and I bought I bought the hard copy of the main book,
nice.
And then I bought most of but it was in like U.S. pricing, and it was just to pay. It cost more than I should have to buy it. So then with the supplement books, like Home of the Brave and stuff, I bought those on DriveThru RPG.
Oh, okay, nice.
And I've been reading those. So yeah, I'm super pumped for this game.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic.
I love the whole like. Just vibe of that trailer.
Yeah, I agree.
Music was great.
Yeah, honestly, and what was it? You're breathtaking.
You're breathtaking. So, yeah, apparently the guy who said that, he's getting the free collector's edition.
Nice.
So yeah, like way to go for that guy.
So the lesson is shout out random shit at E3 conferences.
So now at the next conference, everyone's just going to be yelling memes at the stage.
Exactly.
Like there will be no E3 2021.
No, it'll all just be direct.
E3 2020 is just going to be a hellscape of people yelling.
You're
breathtaking. Like just repeating what people are saying.
They'll be like stage divers and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, I can't get any more. Yeah, it's 2020. Can't get any more pumped for this game than already.
Yeah, I
just can't.
I'm super excited. It's all
good.
I want.
Honestly, I mean, it's the sad thing is though. I'd say this is the game E3 got me the most pumped for.
Yeah.
Except I was already amped up about this well before.
And like I said, that was what I was kind of alluding to earlier. Was that. It pumped me up about a game I'm already massively pumped for.
Yeah, it reinforced what was already
there.
And
then it just got me excited about old things that they're making new again.
Yeah,
that's really I think is my main takeaway from this year's E3.
Yeah, fair enough. Well,
other than that, it was just like, do you have Battletoads?
First off, Spirit Farmer, or Farer. Fishing is what it opens with. And then I put a note in furries, cats, and wizard hats.
Yeah.
I like the art style, but I can't really tell anything else about it from that. So moving on. Battletoads. I've been pre-ordering this from various GameStops for many years. So, I mean, now they're going to actually have to give me a copy when I call them and ask for it.
Got all those Battletoad rain checks.
Yeah. It actually looks like it's made by the Behemoth. Which I haven't actually been able to figure out yet. They're the guys who did Battle Block Theater, Castle Crashers, those type of games.
Oh, okay.
The art style and combat style looks almost the same. I don't know if it actually is, but I love their games, so even if someone else is making it in that style, I mean, we'll beat the shit out of people's Battletoads. There wasn't really enough there to tell much. Then I had RPG Time.
Yeah, RPG Time.
The kind of Legend of Right.
I don't know what it is. It was hard to tell what was going on, but hey,
I put kids coloring activity book, the video game.
Yeah, I don't know what this is, but it looks cool. Like I don't know. I'm interested.
I literally have a question mark, like most spastic trailer ever question mark. But hey, it's got me interested, so it did its job.
Yeah, I'll look into it later. I'm interested.
Yep.
If I remember its name.
Yep. Exactly.
Pretty generic.
So there's a whole bunch of clips came up after this.
Montage time.
I just noticed a couple standouts.
I picked out Star Renegades.
Yeah, Star Renegades. Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. There's actually in early access on Steam now.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I followed this from the beginning. Fucking hilarious game.
Yeah,
you would have
nuts.
cavemen and wizards fighting mammoths and Roman legionnaires. They're all ragdoll physics. It's looked kind of neat. I think
Creature in the Well.
Creature in the Well, yeah, that looked neat. Crosscode looked kind of interesting, and Blazing Chrome, kind of some retro indie kind of stuff in there.
And then I had Unto the End.
Yeah, that one
was
looked
another interesting one.
But there's so little in this. It's just like
it's like a snippet. It's like what is that game? It's like art style, cool. Maybe okay, I'll look into it.
That leads us into the next important thing, which I think is actually a really cool idea: Xbox Game Pass for PC.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm glad they're riding this train. I'm sad that EA almost had to pioneer this idea of being like, okay, you just pay us something a month and you get all our games.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it's spreading. Well, when we get to another publisher, we'll say where I don't think it's worthwhile that it's spread there. But for the stuff that they've said, especially that you're going to get all the day one releases with this.
Yeah. And it's coming for $1 for the first month.
And then $10 a month after that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's not bad. I would, and who knows? They might even have if you subscribe for so long, it might be a discount. So
yeah, well, and then I looked at the Ultimate Game Pass. Gives you your Xbox Live Gold and Game Pass for both for $15 a month. Now that to me strikes me as a fantastic thing. Again, I obviously make too much money for my own good since I'm in the whole PC Master Race thing.
Yeah.
But for a gamer who's just okay, you've got a kid or someone on a budget, for $15 a month for 100 plus games, and there's a lot of solid content on there. I was really
I
impressed
did have
by
Game
that.
Pass for a couple months.
Yeah.
I wanted to play that Ashen game.
Yeah.
Big letdown.
Oh, okay.
Because it was an Epic. It got stolen. It was part of one of our Fallen Brothers.
One of our Fallen Brothers
to Epic.
Yeah, along with Rocket League.
I instead of being able to just go probably get it on there, I went and bought the Game Pass to try it out. I wasn't really too impressed with it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I just want to say my Xbox is dead.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to get it for PC then.
So I guess I'll be able to just cancel the Xbox Game Pass. I already have, but maybe I'll even cancel my Gold if I don't need it for on PC.
I don't believe you do.
Because my Xbox it turns on and immediately turns off, and I haven't been able to fix it or whatever yet. So I've got a fallen brother. My day one Xbox is finally coming to an end.
Alas.
It only lasted. It found out about the new Xbox and
just couldn't take it anymore. It's I'm being replaced. He just suicided out the window.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even buy one of the new ones.
But anyway, that sounds like a phenomenal deal.
Yeah.
And
I'm definitely.
The only reason that it doesn't appeal to me as much, honestly, because 90% of the stuff on it I've already played. Because I'm one of those doofuses. I'm like, it went on a Steam sale for $30, or it was on the Xbox store or whatever. I've already bought it. But I may actually consider, since they're going to be getting so many day one release content, of buying a little less unless it's a big name game, and just subscribe to the pass for all the indie stuff.
For a lot of the price it is for how much a game costs nowadays, it's
$10 a month. That's one. Even an indie game's $10. You play one new game on it each month, and it's paid for itself.
I don't know, I might buy a game and it could be a huge letdown, and you're like, I played it for too long to refund it on something, and you're like, oh well.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, $10 a month. I don't know. I think that's great, and I think this is going to be them trying to compete with Stadia.
I think so. We'll get to Stadia after this, because I didn't actually watch the whole PC gaming show.
I didn't.
But I looked up some highlights. No, it's like 3 hours long, and the PC gaming show has notoriously been the most
it's sponsored by Epic this year.
Yeah,
it's all bullshit.
Yeah. But anyway, Game Pass looks cool. And then the next one... Fucking Flight Simulator looks fucking fantastic. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This is photorealistic,
they have the whole world, mapped, and it will generate your whole area, so... I don't know, I've never really been into Flight Sim. We used to play before class in college.
Yeah, same thing.
We'd just try to fly around and... we'd be like, you can fly, but can you land? None of us could land the goddamn plane.
Exactly. But man, it looks fucking amazing. Again, same thing, not really my kind of game, but holy shit does it look good.
There's this guy I watch on Twitch, cannot remember his name, or I'd give him a shout out, but he has he has a full plane setup.
Oh, nice.
He must work for a pilot training place, but he streams from there, and he's always playing Flight Simulator, and he'll do an 8-hour flight and fly to somewhere or whatever. But man, he must be pumped for this game. That's gonna definitely, because right now it looks kind of mad, but his setup's amazing. But now this game's gonna look beautiful, and he's got this sick setup. So
though I will say it's probably gonna be a fucking 500 gigabyte download or something stupid like that. Given the fidelity of some of those images, man, but it looks gorgeous. So not a lot of interest to me, but hey, if you like Flight Simulator, you are in for a treat by the look of things.
Yeah.
Age of Empires 2, yet again.
Yeah.
They're trying to rival Skyrim for most re-releases.
How many times? I don't even know how many times I've got that game.
Yeah. I think I have it. I own
Sometimes it just shows up.
Sometimes it shows up, yeah. It's just like, you have Age of Empires 2. I'm like, I know I bought it 3 times. And it's like, and you've received it.
I think I bought it for 10 cents on the Microsoft Store one time.
Yeah, exactly. Too. But hey, if you like Age of Empires 2, you can play it in 1080p or 4K or whatever it is now. I don't know why you need to.
Yeah. I feel like I played it enough in every graphical setting.
Yep. But yeah, good game.
Cool.
I don't think it needs that many re-releases, but
No.
still a good game. Wasteland 3. Interesting thing. They kind of looks like they've got a very different tone for this. The previous two Wastelands, although they did have some humor, were not kind of so goofy. It's a tactical RPG. If you like tactical RPGs, I recommend it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, the Colorado Springs or whatever. I think they're going goofy because they don't want to try and compete against the Fallout style of stuff. But anyway, whatever. Xbox acquired Double Fine, which it turns out what happens when you don't release a good game in 10 years, you get bought out by somebody else.
Yeah. And they had their weird little back and forth, like, so you're going to make us make a Battle Royale? No? Yeah. Oh, okay, we can make a game we want to make it. Yeah, sure. And
then, of course, they chose to make Psychonauts 2, the sequel to the most overrated platformer of all time.
I didn't ever play the full game. I played the demo, the Xbox demo disc version of it.
Well, the thing is, that's actually the only fun part of the game. The original was a Mario 64 knockoff when you've taken way too much LSD. And some of the levels were some cool, innovative platforming, and a lot of it was really awkward, annoying stuff, and I'm just like, why must you subject us to more of this? Now, it seems like there's some fan cry for it, but I actually went back and played the game not that long ago.
I think they were already working on this game, making this game for a long time.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
I feel like they've been talking about it since then.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, I mean, hey, you know what? Whatever. I'm glad hopefully they get some funding to make something cool, because to be honest, there are a lot of great Double Fine games, but all of them are more than 10 years old. None of their recent offerings, they've either abandoned them or haven't finished them, or... Massive Chalice was terrible. What was the other one? There's an adventure game that came out recently. Kickstarted it and only gave you the first half for your Kickstarter, and you had to buy the second half or something.
I didn't hear about that, but that sounds pretty scummy.
It wasn't so much scummy, because I'm pretty sure they announced it was episodic to begin with, but anyway. But it was the problem was not even just that; it was just mediocre. So not a huge fan of their recent games, but hopefully with some Microsoft cash to back them up, they can get the creative juices flowing and go from there. Lego Star Wars. I love the Lego series games. Putting all of the Star Wars games into one Lego game, I'm down with that.
Pretty huge. I don't know. I think I've played some demos of them back in the day, but they're fun. I think they're cool games. And
I don't have all of them, but I have Lego Harry Potter, I have Lego Indiana Jones, I have Lego Lord of the Rings. They're fun, and honestly, they're the kind of games that as a kid would have gotten me into gaming, because they're just simple, classic, okay, beat some things up. Oh, you got killed, you're Lego, it doesn't really matter, because you fall apart and come back together, and,
Yeah, no, it could have, that'd be fun. Fun game to start with.
Yep. So on to the next one. This one got me really amped, mostly because I grew up, I was a giant weeaboo, and that is to say, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
I'm pumped too. Honestly, I think Fighter Z proved that there was a market for that classic animation style of game, and now they've decided to throw some huge cash at it to make
I hope this is good.
It looks amazing. Again, there wasn't enough to tell whether the game's going to be any good, but the animation looks perfectly true to form, so I'm pumped.
No, I'm in.
So the next one we had, I think it was called 12 Minutes, which looked like Groundhog Day the game with a murder mystery.
Yeah, like at first I was just like, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck is going on?
And like, then I was like, okay, maybe I'm interested now. So yeah, I'd say I'm interested.
It's intriguing. It's really going to depend on the price tag, because it looks like one of these games you're going to play for about 2 hours and then be done with.
Yeah, or you probably just play once and
once you've figured out the puzzle, you're done.
Yeah,
but it's an interesting premise.
But hey, it'll probably be on the Game Pass. So.
Exactly. Well, from what I understand, he was saying most of these are going to be on the Game Pass at release. So you know what? All of these, if they're included with that, I'll be playing them. That's for sure. Way to the Woods. All I put as a note of this is it looks like there's a lot of game designers on LSD these days.
I didn't even write it. I didn't even write it down.
No, 2020 release date. Gears 5, September 10th. Again, looks like the Gears developers have gotten into the LSD too, was what the title. That escape mode looked like a kind of interesting idea until I realized it's been done to death by other games better than it in the past, so... whatever. And then it was like pyrotechnics at E3. Was that really necessary?
Yeah. The whole we're underground in the Locust base here.
Like that pyrotechnics plus that underground setup scene. That probably cost like $50,000-$60,000 just to set off all that shit.
More than that.
We're probably looking at a $100K price tag.
I'd say more than that. I remember. I don't know. I've had some quotes for pyrotechnics and stuff before on a much smaller scale. and not anywhere close.
Yeah, and then I got a note: Terminator and Gears of War. Why? That's their like. I understand, like, okay, they want to cross promote, but that just doesn't seem like a. Terminator's all about robots, not alien Locust.
There's nothing to do with
things.
Locust or the Swarm or anything.
But anyway, if you're a Gears fan, they say it's supposed to be a return to form, so okay. I like the first Gears. I haven't really been a fan since. So
I'm over Gears.
I'm very over Gears. Okay, hey, another extremely expensive Elite controller that third party have been doing a better version of for years.
Oh, hey, I had the first Elite controller. But my grip came off the side and my right bumper broke. So if they can fix the bumpers and the grips coming off, because that's like everyone that I know that has an Elite controller
has the same problems.
Has pretty much the same problems. Of the bumpers either go to shit or the grip falls off.
Seriously, I actually like the Elite controllers. My only problem with them has always been you can get a third-party controller that does the same thing for a third of the price. It does look cool, though.
Yeah.
Dying Light 2, Spring 2020. Hey, zombies and parkour is a winning combo.
I didn't care about the first one.
Here's the thing. I actually liked the first, except the crafting, trading bullshit. I really wish they would have just focused more on the zombies and parkour.
That was the time, right? That was the time of crafting.
Exactly. So I'm hoping if they can move past that. The gameplay looks kind of fun. I like parkour. But I don't want to get caught up in too much of that.
Oh no, I need more rubber bands to make my machete.
I grew up in the World of Warcraft. You must go on a quest for 12 bare asses, and I was not a fan of that. And so going on a quest for 5 sprockets is no more exciting.
Yeah.
Forza Lego Speed Champs. Interesting choice of an expansion for like a super serious high-tech racing game. Let's add Lego.
It doesn't... well, I mean, they added Hot Wheels before, and that was cool. But yeah, Lego, I don't know, a bit weird, but I don't know, I don't really care about racing games.
Same. Not when you can't shoot stuff at each other and stuff.
No, like, unless it's Burnout.
Yeah, exactly. Serious racing games I don't like. I like the lighthearted, gimmicky racing games.
Give me my gimmicks.
Exactly. Rarely are you going to hear me say that, but with racing, it's the same thing with sports games. I love playing a football game where you can like pull an axe out and hit someone in the head, and the other team is skeletons.
Yeah.
But when it comes to just playing football, I don't really care. Okay, so then we had the mobile game Gears Pop. Looks like Clash Royale with Gears of War. It's a mobile game, so I really don't care too much.
Mobile gamers aren't real gamers.
You know what? I'm not going to necessarily say I agree with that statement, but I will say it's a different audience. What you market to one is not going to work to the other, and vice versa.
It's encroaching too much into marketing schemes and.
That's where it annoys me is when your promotion for your mobile game influences my non-mobile game. Yeah. Just don't do it. Just don't.
But yeah, and I stand by my statement.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I won't really argue with it. State of Decay 2, the Heartland expansion. State of Decay...
They really are trying to make people care about this game.
Yeah, and honestly, I actually liked the first State of Decay because it was kind of different at the time. It was a very flawed game. And when they announced State of Decay 2, everyone's like, oh, they're going to fix all the problems with it. And they didn't fix any. So hopefully this makes the improvements that they should have made between the first and second game. I really liked it. Not a huge fan of the zombie survival genre because I think it's very overdone, but I hope it can be good. But honestly, unless it turns up in the Game Pass, the odds of me playing it are very slim to none.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Phantasy Star Online 2, apparently huge in Japan. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I played a little bit of the first one on Xbox.
I played it on Dreamcast.
Yeah. It was fun. But, like, I don't know, the trailer, it just seemed like weeb hell.
Yeah, like, honestly, it's like...
What is going on here?
I was a big Japanophile when I was younger, and that trailer, to me, showed all the worst aspects of Japanese games. It did not get me amped in any way. But that being said, if you've been waiting for it to come over... Hey, go for it. Yeah. But, yeah, not interested in really online RPGs too much, so moving on. Crossfire X.
First console on Xbox.
Yeah. I
tried to, like, see, like, what, like, I don't know, looked cool CGI, but I have no idea what it was.
Yeah, same thing. I just put interesting cinematic. Let's see some gameplay. Tales of Arise. Another RPG. honestly, I like a lot of the Tales games. This one looks more like a third-person over-shoulder action RPG kind of thing.
I'm not into the Tales series.
Okay. I shouldn't say I'm a huge fan of them lately. Maybe 5-10 years back I was a big fan. But hey, looks more action RPG than actual RPG. Again, looks like for Xbox, though, I will say this. For the fans of Japanese-style games, the Xbox has been kind of a dearth of content over the years. So if that's what you're into, 20 years ago, this would have had me drooling. Now I'm not a huge fan anymore because I feel the genre has kind of moved on, with one exception, which we will get to later. So then moving on, we had the Borderlands 3 plus the Handsome Collection. I like the first Borderlands, kind of. I've never been a huge fan of the series, but it wasn't bad.
I liked 1 and 2. I didn't like the pre-sequel at all.
No, same.
3 should be cool, but
I mean, I got to add the obligatory, fuck Randy Pitchford statement in here. But yeah, so this really, I haven't been any kind of fan since the pre-sequel. This really does nothing to change my mind.
Yeah.
So this is one, if it comes out and people say, yeah, it's a lot like the first one, okay, I'll probably get it. If they come out and say, yeah, it's a lot like the pre-sequel, nah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, because I'm waiting on that game, so we'll see what happens.
This next one I'm a little bit hyped for, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yeah.
I had a note. I just put, can anyone lend me a helping hand? The hands coming up at the screen.
Well, and so George R. Martin's not writing books, and he's not gonna finish his book.
He's obviously just completely. He's like, you know what? I fucking give up. He's written 4 books that are like pre-sequels to Game of Thrones, and like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do a video game now.
Let's make a Dark Souls game.
Yeah, but to be honest, the character design looked cool.
Yeah, hey, I'm interested.
And it's from Software. I mean,
I'm in.
Their games, they're not for everyone. But they knock it out of the park at what they do, so,
No, I'm interested.
Though, honestly, the Dark Souls games may be the only games with worlds bleaker than the ones that George R. R. Martin has created, so this is going to be probably depressing as fuck. Like, you're going to beat the game and, you're not going to feel happy about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it should be interesting to see what, I don't know, maybe the game doesn't end.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, I love From Software. I liked the Game of Thrones books. I didn't care for the end seasons, but Martin wasn't really involved with those, so this is a lot of promise.
Yeah.
Not really enough to judge what the gameplay is going to be like, but again, I've never played a From Software game that didn't have solid gameplay, even if I didn't care for it. Then we had some announcements with the Xbox Cloud. Interesting concept. I hate console streaming. I'm not going to do it.
It's terrible.
But for those who have houses or family setups where they can't necessarily have access to the big TV all the time or something, great. They did make a note that for the cloud gaming online that you could use your Xbox as a server as if it was some new feature. And I'm just like, I kind of remember doing that with the original Xbox for Halo Online.
Yeah.
Someone had to host it as their own. This is not really a new technology.
No, that's how people are able to play Halo 1 online. And
server. Host is disconnected. I've seen that message plenty of times. So I don't know exactly what maybe they were just really bad at explaining what that meant. But anyway, they announced a new console.
Project Scarlet.
What I really like is they emphasized, and let's hopefully that they stick to it, that it is optimized for gaming, not for Netflix and browsing and being a Siri wannabe and everything else. So good stuff.
Hey, you know what? I really like being able to tell my Xbox to turn on and off.
That's fair, but
and to pause and whatever. It's fun.
But then $10 million development dollars went into making it do 47 other things you didn't care about. So.
Oh yeah, no. There's too many commands that were too hard to know or say, but. No, hopefully they can just focus on making a gaming machine.
Yeah, and kudos to them for acknowledging the problem of load times in consoles and saying that they're trying to address it. The fact that consoles this generation didn't come with an SSD by default was staggering.
Yeah.
So now that they said...
the Xbox One X and the PlayStation Pro, I'm pretty sure they came with... solid state drives?
Yes, but what I'm saying is that you shouldn't have to buy the enhanced version to get that. Though I did find he did end up listing off about 10 separate features that are 5 years out of date in the PC scene.
Yeah, no, I really like seeing all the PC Master Race memes about it.
Yeah, exactly. Though it's probably gonna have a much stupider name when it comes out, like the Triple Xbox or something similar. Because
it's like, do they call it the Xbox 2?
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it makes sense, but it's like, it's kind of
the
kind
Xbox
of boring.
One Xbox. So it's going to be the triple Xbox. That's my note. 2020 holiday release, no big surprise there. Holiday is pretty much always the release time. And it bundles with the new Halo. So, cool. I have not been a fan of Halo since 343 took over, but hopefully they can bring it back to a return to form.
And we got Halo coming to PC as well.
Yeah, Master Chief Collection coming to PC. I'm looking forward to that. Again, I haven't been a huge fan of the series in a while, but hey, you know what? Yeah. They can bring it back.
I played a bit of 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, haven't been into it for a while. 2 would be my favorite.
Yeah, I think so.
And then the Master Chief Collection, just it's such a terrible start. With that one, so I would.
So hopefully they've learned from their mistakes.
I think they've fixed it pretty much on console. So hopefully it works.
Hopefully they don't come out with PC and it's got all the same problems that the console always has.
But we'll see.
I mean, with PC, it's a lot easier to deal with netcode and stuff like that. So hopefully it's a lot less issues. But I thought Halo Infinite was a good way to cap off the presentation, finish with something that they know people are looking forward to.
Yeah.
I thought Xbox had, although still. I think E3 was pretty weak. I thought Xbox actually had a pretty strong presentation this year.
Yeah.
They had a good show. Not a lot of detail,
no.
But what it was good for was kind of just that building a little bit of hype, saying, okay, check out what's coming and so on. And I'm really glad that they did not descend into tons and tons of, here's this developer, and here's the, they bring out the assistant graphics developer because he's the only person who's willing to talk in front of a camera, and you know what I mean?
And they're just like nervous and like, our game is about, it's just like so awkward and
it
weird.
Is, because it's like, you didn't hire these guys because they're good at talking, you hired them because they're good at coding, so why are you putting them in front of a camera?
I don't care, I just want to play a game.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind if you want to talk a little bit about what's going on, because you're saying, okay, this is actually the third stage of the game, because that's what we're doing for the demo, fine, that's fine. But if you talk for 10 minutes for a 2-minute trailer, I can't stand that. So I thought that was strong this year.
Or like when Ubisoft, it'll be like a Tom Clancy game, and it's like the fake team chatter that it's like, oh, hey, hey, Kim, did you get your grenade launcher on the weekend?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, I got this, and I ran the temple of blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah,
And it's like, oh, no one talks like this.
No one talks like
come on.
Hello, fellow kids.
Hello, other gamer. Your armor looks exquisite this day.
Yes.
May I ask where you acquired it?
Anyway, but yeah, I thought overall, especially given how weak E3 was overall this year, I thought Xbox had a strong presentation.
Yeah, they did good.
And that brings us to the end of that. We're only clocking in at a little under an hour, so I think we'll keep going a little bit before we take a break, if that works for you.
Let's go a bit.
So I got Bethesda next. I will say...
my first note is this, because they start out saying hi, I'm Gapper and I used to like Bethesda.
Yeah, exactly. I actually put my note says, this is the fucking corniest intro to an E3 presentation I've ever seen in my life. This was the hello, fellow gamers. Yeah. It's like, seriously, it's like, dude, if you're watching E3... you don't need to have this.
No.
Only people who care about this shit are watching E3. And the 7 people who really care about people talking about it are listening to us.
Yeah.
But it would be like if we came out and opened this podcast, it'd be like, I'm Von Frankenstein and this is Gapper and we like video games. It's like,
that was the one thing that pissed me off the most back at in other conferences was when they would have a musical guest come out and it'd be some band or we are gamers. We are big gamers.
Yeah.
We like games.
Exactly.
It's it just seems so fake and weird.
Why? And then I put a note saying, how long is it going to take before Todd Howard comes out to pitch Skyway?
Lion Todd.
And it's or is he still sleeping off the epic Fallout 76 failure cocaine bender?
Yeah.
And then I just put, there he is.
Lion Todd's here.
There he is.
Hey, we're sorry.
I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit. The man is self-aware.
Yeah.
He came out knowing that he fucked up, and he fucked off the stage pretty quick.
Yeah.
He compared to last year where he was out.
They had fakes in the audience.
Yes.
The whole audience was just a bunch of shills.
Yeah. But I just put bring up Fallout 76. That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how that pays off.
I feel like the way they're doing it though, where they're just haha, we did it, but the game they're and we're supporting it, and you're still playing it. It's that's the problem. There is you're still playing it. Yeah. The game shouldn't even exist until now, probably.
Yes.
With the DLC they're adding, they're actually gonna have like human NPCs.
Exactly. Well, we'll get into that in a minute because we get down there. But yeah, I don't think. To me, this is a shame, which you should have put into the corner and not talked about.
Yeah.
But they opened up with the odd choice of Elder Scrolls Blades, the online free game.
Look, that game looks awful.
Yeah, and then the fact that it's coming to Switch, and I put my note is just what I wanted, a mobile phone quality game on my 50-inch screen. That's what I want. Cool that it's got cross-play for the people who actually play it. I got a funny feeling.
I feel like if you play this game, you're not a real gamer. So
I feel like almost no one is going to pull this from. Like this is what we're talking about. How the audiences don't overlap.
Yeah.
No one who plays this on their phone is going to be like, "Well, I'm going to get it for Switch and play it on my TV."
Yeah.
Like, and then everyone else you're going to be, "Hey guys, you want to play some Elder Scrolls Blades?" Everyone was just going to fucking slap you across the face and be like, "No, we don't." Like, seriously.
I don't know. Yeah. Fuck that game.
Fuck that game. And then we move on to Fallout 76.
Fuck that game.
So I literally put when they announced it, I don't think there's much you can do to fix this shit show of a game, but let's hear it. And I was like, oh my, NPCs, the thing that should have been in the game from the start.
It's like, oh, here's the DLC that should have been like this. It's like, oh, that should have been the game, and then we got fucking Fallout Battle Royales now too.
Yeah. And then they were like, it's a free update, and I'm like, it better be a fucking free update. Like anyone who already paid money for that game. You think they're going to give you more?
Yeah.
I'll bet you it wasn't planned as a free update originally. No. I'll bet you this was a DLC.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they're just like, there's no way we're getting more money out of people. We must beg for forgiveness on our knees.
Yeah, but hey, they gave some people some free items, like $5 for fucking up the collector's edition or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So whatever.
Yeah, and I put, oh look, they've added PUBG to Fallout, yay. I know gaming fads come and go, but I really fucking hope Battle Royale games will just fuck off soon.
Yeah, and I feel like the problem is Bethesda is just always so far behind. Like Fallout 4, they were just so far behind on the base building crafting that by the time it came out, I was done.
Well, Bethesda's problem is that they need to
their development cycle's so long to make
a game. It's so long, and they try, we're going to do this even though we're terrible at it. No. Get your good writers in, make your beautiful, intensive, deep single-player games that are full of bugs and we don't care because the game is so big anyway, and fuck off with all this multiplayer shit because you're terrible at it. We'll get into more of that in a minute, but holy smokes. Anyway, I mean, I'm happy that Todd didn't talk about Skyrim. Which he should have, because even a new edition of Skyrim would have been a better announcement than more Fallout 76.
Yeah.
But I am, at the very least, I think it's a smart thing to do, offering this for free. But I would have just been like, you know what? This just ate up all our Fallout Shelter money. We're going to call it a wash and move on from here.
Yeah.
Moving on to something that looked interesting, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah.
I like Shinji Mikami. So, cool.
That lady was hilarious.
My God, the accents. Like, if you couldn't see that she was actually Asian, you would swear this is someone making an offensive, stereotypical accent over the internet. Like, that was so thick. But she was actually really great.
Oh, yeah, she was hilarious.
She needs to replace Todd Howard as the spokesperson.
Yeah.
Like,
I would never be able to hate that company, because she just seems like the nicest lady.
Like, I would have, let's say they're warming up for this, and Todd Howard is warming up for his, and she's warming up for hers, I've been like, lady, you go out and you talk about Fallout 76 because people might actually like it if you do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I don't really know what Ghostwire is, but hey,
looks spooky. There was a sad Doge in it, which made me sad.
Yeah.
I put the best looking noodles since Final Fantasy 15. Those were some tasty looking noodles. I don't know if they were actual cup noodle, though. They would just showed him eating noodles, so I don't know if they were the real deal.
I'm a cup noodle purist, all right?
Cup noodle pure. Well, the thing is, I gotta cook the cup noodle on my Coleman camp stove.
Gotta get that Coleman.
And then drive around my Audi A4 or whatever it is. So
fly around. I don't
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I crash it every time.
Crash it everywhere we go. I don't know how many times.
I quickly learned you do not fly anywhere.
No, I was going to say, I don't know. I think I might have died in that game twice by accident when I was learning to play in combat.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times from crash.
Oh, yeah, no. Combat was never a worry, but all my deaths came from
the car.
Crashing.
But yeah, I would have liked to see some gameplay because I'm kind of intrigued by this Ghostwire
my whole
game.
thing is just show me gameplay, please.
Yeah, exactly. Then I put another note, Jesus, this is corny. I'm assuming that's because they put in another... They had like 3 of those fucking montages with the... random people talking about how...
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was honestly waiting for one of them to be like, you know, Bethesda saved my life.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for Todd Howard, my dog would have been killed by a truck or something. Like
Todd Howard took me in after
yes.
Government death squad killed my family.
Like
now I program games for him.
My family was killed and I was raised by wolves. And then the wolves were killed and I was raised by Todd Howard. Like... This was so bad. So yeah, I skipped past it.
Yeah,
and then it was Elder Scrolls Online, which I also skipped past because great if you like ESO.
I pretty much was losing interest there.
Yeah.
I put ESO don't care. I think I bought it for $10 and I just couldn't bring myself to play it.
So now we have to
then
move
Commander
on.
Keen was the last thing I talked about.
Fuck! Sorry, I grew up with Commander Keen. I liked Commander Keen. Commander Keen was probably the first PC game I played other than stuff like Snake or the gorillas throwing bananas at each other. I wanted to cry watching this. I am so fucking mad. Why did you attach a beloved franchise to this mobile quality bullshit? And I actually even put a note, Darth Vader, no! Anyway, fuck that. I'm gonna get really mad if we talk about this one.
Yeah, don't move on.
So let's move on.
I was not interested in that game at all. So.
And then I put a note. Because then we had another montage. And
that's the montage that killed me.
Yes.
My notes run dry. I lost interest. I went back to mapping.
Because then I put, is this marketing for the mobile stuff aimed at millennials or Generation Z? Because it completely fails to appeal to me in any fucking way.
They don't make games for us anymore, man.
Well, some people do, but the marketing department certainly isn't aiming at us. Then they had a note for Rage 2. I haven't played it yet. Yeah. It looks kind of neat. I actually liked the original Rage. Everyone seems to think it's pretty mediocre, so I haven't really got... I'm going to play it on a Steam sale or something, when it goes.
Apparently the combat's fun, but the driving's shit.
That's what I'm told, which is honestly basically a lot like the original Rage.
Yeah.
But my big note is, why are cheat codes being advertised as an in-game feature? Like, I guess you buy cheat mods to the game in the game or something by the look of it, like Zero Gravity and stuff like that.
Oh, weird.
So,
I don't know, yeah.
Anyway, looks like cool shit if you like the game. Otherwise, I don't care. Then I got Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. Hey, Nazi killing in VR sounds like fun, but it really just looks like every other generic trash tier VR first-person shooter. Honestly, this disappointed me because I was kind of thinking to myself, you know, Bethesda's done a couple of kind of cool things with their VR versions of their games, and I was really thinking, you know what, if there's a company that could really throw some money and develop a really good-looking VR game, it would be them. And then this just looks like, again, generic VR shooter 77 with the Wolfenstein theme. Wolfenstein Youngbloods, releasing July 26, 2019. Wasn't interested last year, not interested now.
No, I'm over
the whole thing about the Wolfenstein, the reboot series they're working on right now, was the fact that it was like campy and lighthearted and you're fighting Nazis on the moon and shit like that. And it looks like they went super fucking serious for this. And I'm just like, why? You know what I mean? There are literally hundreds of games where I can go and just shoot Nazis. Yours was set apart because you made it not serious and kind of fun. And anyway, and I also just wanted to make a note, like, whoever decided to release this in the same year as a certain game, which is going to be coming up at the end of this, really needs to be shot or fired. Because if you're releasing a serious first-person shooter that looks kind of mediocre with the hype of Doom Eternal, then, man, you picked a bad fucking time to release your game. It's going to sell 27 copies.
Yeah.
Then we had Deathloop. But I had a big note here, show, don't tell, Jesus fucking Christ. Looks like they're just iterating Rage because, look, another shooter with powers.
Yeah.
No matter and then I put, no matter how interesting, why hype yet another FPS game when Doom is being released?
Yeah, it kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like, it didn't look bad, but just was kind of like, it's more of the same. Okay, we got Nazi killing stuff, we've got Rage 2, we've got this. Like, it's just the same game. Kind of stylish looking, though, so I kind of like that. Note more garbage advertising. Then something about new tech from a software company, which is weird. The Orion thing sounds kind of interesting, but the thing is, I don't know why they're announcing this at like the consumer side of E3, because like these presentations are really more consumer side than industry side. This is something I might have had in a booth, but it's like I'm not gonna look at a new game I'm buying and be like, is it Orion enabled or not?
Yeah,
like
it's very strange. I don't really care what tech's in the game.
Yeah, I mean it's potentially groundbreaking technology, but I'm not gonna be looking at it from that lens. I'm just gonna be looking at a review when a game comes out and it says, does it have good connections? Is the load time good? You know what I mean? So,
well, I mean, like I guess E3 has changed from that though. Like, it used to be just industry.
It did,
and then like a few journalists would get in.
Yeah,
and now it's just basically all just.
Did I tell you I had an E3 pass from like 15 years ago?
Oh, my friend used to make like a fake gaming website every year.
I had a GeoCities website that I put game reviews on, and I said, fuck it, I'm applying for an E3 pass. I got one. I wasn't old enough to be able to afford to get to E3, but I got a pass.
Yeah, no, it's just weird the direction the conference is.
It is. Well, I think they've realized it's, you know what?
Yeah.
The presentations, that is to sell games to us.
Yeah.
Who are going to buy them. The booths in the back end, that's where the people who are actually interested in the industry side are going to be anyway. The industry side people are not.
For the investor side, you just have investors call anyways, and have someone can explain to them what all the what all the games are, what it means. Like they can have analysts do that. So make it for the people. Just show us games.
Speaking of showing us games, this is really the only reason I tuned into the Bethesda in the first place, and that is Doom Eternal.
I haven't watched anything on it.
Okay. Release date, November 22nd, 2019. Looks like it's going to be more of the same, and to be honest, that's all I want.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with it. Don't screw around. Give me a bunch of new enemies, new guns, new levels, and that's it. I put a note, the collector's edition is probably already sold out by the time I'm writing this, and it had.
Yeah.
And hopefully they don't fuck up the multiplayer this time. It looks like they learned their lesson. They said they're
was so trash.
Right, so it looks like they've tried to mix it up. I think what they need to do is stick with what they're doing. They're doing a kind of gimmicky demon mode thing, it looks like.
They talk about Quake at all?
No.
Whatever happened to that game?
Yeah, are we not bound by the NDA anymore? I think when we did the beta.
I think we're.
I don't know if it ever came out of beta, so. But obviously, you see, the way they're treating Quake Champions is the way they should be treating Fallout 76.
Yeah.
just don't talk about it at all.
Because it was at last year's E3, I think.
It was, and then it was the year before that we played the beta.
Yeah, we played the beta. Oh, jeez. It must be just in microtransaction hell with like 3 people on the server.
Yeah, pretty much. There's literally they're only keeping it open because so many people just keep clicking buy, and as soon as those 3 stop buying, they're shutting it down.
Yeah.
It's just they don't even have a guy running the server. Just some guy runs to check the temperature once a day to make sure it isn't going to melt on them, and it isn't because there's only 3 people playing. But yeah, Doom Eternal, I'm hyped. I know I've abandoned the previous year's erectometer because there wasn't a whole lot here.
Yeah.
But I put a note for this: jet fuel can't melt my steel beam. I am hyped for this. But yeah, this was really the only one that really got me so hyped. But the fact of the matter is, it's like we were talking about before. I was amped for this the minute they announced they were making a sequel to Doom 2016. So yeah, best. That's still one of my best games of the decade right now. So I'm really hoping they follow up on it. And it looks like Doom Guy gets his sword back.
Ooh.
So
yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why. I don't know. I just haven't really watched anything about Doom Eternal, and I don't know, I'll probably play it eventually. But
yeah, I'll play it.
It's not something I'm like really pumped for.
Fair enough. And that brings us to the end of Bethesda. Do we want to take a water and washroom break, or do we want to go through Ubisoft?
Good.
I'm good to keep going. Yeah,
Let's go.
I think it's the nature of E3. We usually end up being about, half an hour, 40 minutes each studio. We're now through 3 of the big ones, and we're only at an hour and 15 minutes in, so.
Oh, wow.
Let's keep on trucking.
Yeah, let's keep going, I guess.
Looking solid. Okay, so Ubisoft. Yay, Assassin's Creed Orchestra music.
Yeah, it's alright.
I mean, sure. Then we jumped right in with Watch Dogs Legion.
Very classic conference 6th, we have here, too.
Yes, this was... Ubisoft, I think, was the most traditional, let's bring out random people from the development team to talk at you. But yeah, so we got Watch Dogs Legion, March 6th, 2020. Honestly, I am kind of interested. Yeah. It looks kind of... They've honestly, it looks like this is what the first Watch Dogs should have been like. And they've learned... I'm surprised they've stuck with this series, by the way, because it hasn't done spectacular.
I didn't even play the second one.
Yeah. But this, I actually like the idea of being like, oh, here's a random stuntman. Let's add him to the team.
Like the old lady, just like, I got you now. Like, I think I really like the idea behind it. It's like kind of like that old Battlefield. It was like Battlefield Modern Warfare where you could like switch between soldiers.
Yeah.
But this one is actually different characters. So like like the whole everyone can be. Well, hopefully everyone. I don't know. I see what they're saying. I see their idea. Hopefully it ends up working out for them really well. But in like permadeaths.
Yeah, exactly. The idea that you can recruit whoever you want, so they're going to get killed. You can kind of have like some. I like the idea of saying, "Oh, I've got 12 people on my team. Fuck it, I'm going on a suicide run because this guy's expendable."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that just seems like fun to me.
Yeah.
So,
but it's like I don't know. So you're like a terrorist training camp and recruiter.
Yeah, like it looks like you're like okay, London has gone full V for Vendetta kind of thing. So now
the drones are after us, everywhere. And now we're gonna it's just terrorist simulator.
Terrorist simulator, yeah. And the fact that you can recruit all these people, like I guarantee you, I am going to go full snack bar somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I am walking into a place with an explosive drone and just crashing it into a police station or something.
I'm really looking forward to this game, and it comes out. Was it just before Cyberpunk?
I believe so. Cyberpunk, I think, is in late March, and this is in early March.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm actually, honestly, I was really surprised to say, an Ubisoft game that's got me kind of hooked, but they actually opened strong.
Yeah, no, the world sounds cool.
The
idea,
looked good.
I don't know, I was in. I was interested.
Exactly. They got me. 100%. And next up we had, I put a note, Big Bang Theory for gamers. Get fucked, shithead. The TV series or whatever they're fucking pitching.
Oh, yeah.
That looks so fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia. My friends do, and they've ruined it for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I
watch like compilations of Danny DeVito talking about his poor wife.
Or like, I'm the trash man. Like just a few clips that I see posted in the Discord. But
it really just looked like Big Bang Theory with a game studio instead. I have absolutely zero interest in this.
I'll sleep on that one.
I just got a note, Siege. I'm leaving this to Gapper because I don't really play.
I haven't played Siege in a little bit, but yeah, we have. They're just showing off the new DLC or new operators for Siege.
I like that kind of James Bond guy looking operator.
Yeah, he's interesting. I haven't actually played him yet. And then there's the other one, Danish operator, Knock, that's got like a kind of camouflage thing going on.
Yeah.
I really don't know too much about it, but I might get my friends are getting back into it again, so I might get into it there and try out the new operators, and they really changed the game up a lot. I just recently Rank Play came out of beta.
Oh, okay.
It's been in beta since the day it came out. And
so it's now a fit.
Well, because they have pick and ban now, and it's finally, I guess, ranks out of beta. Yeah. So it took them 4 years.
Yeah, this is the game I could never play because I'll be banned within 8 minutes of logging into it.
Yeah.
But if you're a Siege fan, I am happy that they decided to continue supporting it because it was such a good concept. Had a terrible launch, and then
graphs on that game of how they've brought it back.
I don't think there's ever been a game quite like this that started off flatlined and then ended up taking off. But
actually, I saw the game developer thing for PoE, how it started off like, and then like recently they're just.
This is true, but
Ubisoft, I really appreciate them for how they have supported their games throughout their development. Like Rainbow Six, they brought it back. For Honor, they seem to be doing
well. We'll get into that in a little bit, but they're still working on that.
I just got more DLC, and then we have.
I had a note for Brawlhalla / Adventure Time add-on. I don't really care about either.
I didn't. Yeah, I've heard of Brawlhalla. I didn't know it was a Ubisoft thing.
Yeah, I didn't know it was either, but apparently it is.
Yeah,
it's like a Smash ripoff, so it's like okay, they're adding Adventure Time to that. Cool if you like it. I really don't care. So Ghost Recon Breakpoint, October 4th, beta on September 5th. I am very sad because I saw John Bernthal and I was like, oh fuck, we're getting a Punisher game. And,
shit.
And then, no, we did not. However, hey, if you're going to have a front man for that, I mean, he's the guy. Like, he's a great choice as a front man.
So, like, I don't know how much you know about the game.
Well, just what was... I only watched this.
They showed a trailer a couple weeks ago about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And revealed him being the main bad guy.
Okay.
But he was in the DLC for the first one that just recently came out.
Okay. So, I should have said this at the beginning. I went into this as blind as I could.
Okay.
I did no research first, and I did not look at who was presenting what, because I wanted to look at it kind of blind.
Yeah.
So... but that's interesting.
No,
I think he's a great face for this kind of game.
Yeah, the trailers came out a few weeks back, and
Yeah.
I bought a game on Uplay, so I was able to get the first Ghost Recons again. So actually, we've been going back to it because that game is actually amazing.
Yeah.
Just how big the world is, how much just there is to do.
Yeah.
Like it is, kind of the same shit over and over, but just different layouts change it up so much. Like yesterday, we were doing this one DLC mission. We were trying to sneak through this base, and it took us forever because one of us would fuck up and get spotted, and then we would like get to the end, and the other helicopters would like fuck us up.
Yeah.
But when we finally did, it was like this crazy thing, and it was fun. We got a little fighty for a bit, but then we did it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Ghost Recon.
Same, it looks good. I mean, it's interesting because the Tom Clancy brand has been all over the fucking place in recent years. There have been ups, there have been downs. But I mean, I don't know. Like, did Ubisoft purchase Tom Clancy's remains, and that's why they have the rights to make so many games? But I am looking forward to this.
It's so different from the old Ghost Recons, and I'm sure a lot of people didn't like the new Ghost Recon, but. Yeah. This game is actually so fun. Like, we're whipping around in helicopters, you're, like, raiding convoys. It's so much fun.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's just so goofy. Like, you can never have a successful mission if you all take bikes. Someone's flying off a cliff and dying. Like, you're gonna be reviving.
Nice.
It's never just like, woo, we're all out of here, vroom. Like, it's like someone's gonna die, and you're gonna have to constantly stop to revive. And then it just becomes less and less cool.
There you go.
Yeah, man, that's Ghost Recon, and I'm pumped for it.
Yep, and cool that
I haven't played the DLC to fully know his story.
And they're bringing back AI teammates, which is cool for those of us who don't have friends and don't want to play with randoms.
I don't understand why they mean bringing back. Like, they had AI teammates in the first one.
They didn't have it in Wildlands, I think.
No, it was in Wildlands.
It was in Wildlands?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
If you play the game like by yourself, you get you can use them basically as sync shots. Like, you shoot that guy and then you'll count it down 3, 2, you take the shot and then your buddies will shoot the other guys. So
interesting.
No, they have AI teammates in that game.
I haven't really played the more recent ones too much. So moving on, after some cool hype for that, we have brought it right back down to Elite Squad. A Division mobile RPG. I could not possibly care any less about this game.
I don't care about mobile games.
Man, it looks bad though.
I don't even remember seeing this.
It was really short. It was, but it looks like some kind of weird mobile game where you collect the characters from the various Tom Clancy series. They put in Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell as like a promotional guy. Anyway, looks terrible. Moving on. Just Dance, whatever. 10 years, motherfucker. That's a lot of dancing.
Twitch thoughts. You got something new to play.
Yeah, exactly. And then I just put like some guys like Dance is this, and then my note is no, it's actually Just Dance. To be fair though, I refused to watch that. I actually like the Just Dance games as like a party game. They're fun, but this looks like just a bad attempt to try and go viral or something. Like, it's so contrived and stupid. Like, it's like when someone does a flash mob, but instead of it being a fun flash mob, it's like a big corporate advertisement.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But they always do their
If you like Just Dance, there's more Just
dancing.
Dance coming. I've always enjoyed the series as like a goofy kind of party game to get people up and moving. Next up, we had a For Honor. They're bringing ghosts and shit to For Honor. Cool.
Is it like, are they going to do Outbreak for Honor?
Yeah, I got no idea what's going on. So, but hey, again, I'm glad they're still supporting it. Another game that had a rough launch, but that turned into
it was fun. I always had a fun time, but I just never really got too deep into it.
Same. I thought the idea was so cool, and then when I first played it, the netcode and stuff was still so terrible you couldn't play it basically. And then
especially when I was
again.
playing, was it Nobushi? And I would just like try to be poke.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
If there's big desync and all of a sudden someone's hitting me and I can't stay back and poke, well, then there's no point.
Yep. Then we got Rainbow Six Quarantine.
Yeah.
My note was get that arm checked out, buddy.
So I guess they're gonna just make Outbreak into like a full thing or what?
I mean, I put a note that the presenter's hair looks more interesting than the game because this was a pink-haired lady came out.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, it looks like it's going to be Siege with zombies and co-op. I just put, but why though?
Yeah. Well, it's like they had the Outbreak DLC,
yeah, exactly.
right? And we'll see, maybe that did well enough, but I mean, it was fun the first time through, but for the amount of times they wanted you to do it for challenges in the week, it was just like,
whatever. But hey, zombies are in, so zombies it is.
Are they in still?
Well, I think so. I think this proves it. I mean, depending on how well this does, will prove whether they're still in or not.
I don't think they're in.
I think they're on the way out. Yeah, I would sell stock in zombies if I had.
I would, dump your zombie stock. What's next, though?
What's next?
I don't know. What do we buy futures in?
Probably Cthulhu. Seems to be getting bigger again.
Yes, I did see the Baldur's Gate trailer, so...
Yes. Yeah. But we'll get to that when we get there. Division 2. It's free from June 13th to 16th. I still won't play it. And there's an expansion coming in July.
I had fun. I got to, pretty much max power level. And then I stopped playing. That game hurts my eyes so much. I can't play it for too long. It kills my eyes.
I laughed out loud at the fact that they had to turn to the Ubisoft team sitting in the audience because they were literally the only people clapping for this whole thing. It's just like, okay, great. And apparently there's a Division movie in the works for Netflix. Okay, sure, why not? Whatever. It was announced right at the end for 2 minutes. Whatever. And then we have... possibly the most extraneous fucking thing I've ever seen, and that is Uplay Plus, coming out this September.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, a Ubisoft subscription service. And I'm like, 100 plus games, 3 of which aren't available elsewhere. $14.99 a month. Now compare that to Microsoft giving you the Gold Pass and both console and PC libraries for the same price. I don't know... I like the idea, honestly. I know people shit on this gaming as a service sort of thing and you want to own your games. But if I want to play a bunch of classic games, I don't want to have to go out and hunt them down or pay full price for them. If I say, you know what, I missed that game, I don't want to... I actually like these, but this is a hard sell for $14.99
I digitally buy all my games anyways, so who fucking cares?
But this is a hard sell. And then and it's available on Stadia. So you're going to pay for a monthly service on top of a monthly service for games you can only stream.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pay... You'd have to pay $30 a month for that.
Yeah, and it's okay, so they have a few, exclusives a year, and then the rest are just going to be games that will probably be available and everything else, too. So, I don't know, what's the point?
Yeah, honestly, Origins had some great stuff. I mean, it's dried up recently, but, I paid for Origins, so
I just canceled my Origins.
Well, I was only paying for it so I could play, because I didn't want to pay for Dragon Age Inquisitor and this stuff, so I did that. But anyway, this seems like it's not a bad idea, but their price point's way the fuck off.
Yeah, they need to fix that. If they could bring it down to, for just the basic of EA's $30 a year, that's not that bad. Yeah. Especially if you're into sports games. I have it for my brother for sports games.
Even $10 a month seems a kind of sweet spot to be okay, that's enough money that a gamer I can put that on my credit card and I won't even remember I bought it.
Yeah.
But for $15. Now I'm and then again, it's still not really that much money, but at the same time, it's now that everybody's doing it, now it's competitive. It's not just Origins anymore. Now you're going to have 5 separate ones. It's now I got to pay 60, 70, 80 bucks a month. Maybe I'm going to look at which ones I'm getting, and I'm going to cut some. Maybe we'll talk about Stadia briefly when we get to the end of this, just because I didn't watch the PC show, but I do think that's worth a bit of commentary. But let's finish off Ubisoft here. So we have Roller Champions.
It's
honestly,
it's they never heard of what's that game? Shit, what's that game? The car game,
Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Yeah,
they never heard of Rocket League.
Well, and honestly, I looked at this, and at first when they started pitching it, I was like, okay, this actually looks kind of neat. But the gameplay footage they showed makes it look slow and fucking awkward.
Yeah.
This, I am not inspired at all.
I didn't even write it down. That's how much I cared about it.
Really, I was just wow. And all the in-game footage is actually just pre-canned spots. But the spots that are designed to make the game look exciting actually make it look slow and kind of, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. So I had a note. Gods and Monsters released February 25th, 2020. The 20-second teaser for that is one of the most exciting things from this whole presentation.
Yeah.
I thought this was an exceptionally lame presentation. I think the big thing a lot of other companies are starting to do right is show, not tell. And Ubisoft just wanted to tell.
Yeah.
They didn't have a whole lot to show.
I'm very disappointed in what they didn't show.
Yeah.
They didn't show any Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any Beyond Good and Evil.
That's fair. I got a funny feeling Beyond Good and Evil is going to end up on like a 5-year production cycle and then end up being trash, which would be sad. But that's kind of what happened with the first time. Overproduced, way too much budget, didn't meet the sales numbers, and I got a funny feeling that's kind of coming around again.
I really want to see Skull and Bones, but I think they've probably changed what the game is, because I don't know. They need to just make it more of just like a pirate game.
Yeah, really.
Just turn Assassin's Creed into a pirate game again.
Just give me the stuff from Black Flag and expand on that.
Yeah, like it doesn't have to be like an arena pirate ship shooter like they were shooting for. But yeah, maybe just give me a pirate ship game.
I could do it.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe they're changing their mind on what they want, but we'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, before we move on to Squeenix, let's talk about PC just a little bit. I wanted to talk about Stadia because I was actually intrigued with the idea of Stadia when they announced it. And then I saw a clip when they talked about the requirements for it. So, so we've gone from being a revolutionary system into what someone I saw online dubbed the Ouya Tuya.
I bought the first one, by the way.
I know. Yeah. I kickstarted it too.
Kickstarted. It sounded like a cool idea.
Seemed like a cool idea. So here's the thing. Do you know what you require for... Okay, so the big thing is that the big benefit to the concept is, okay, you do not need to dump a bunch of money into a high-end PC to play high-end games. This is the theory. They're on their supercomputer somewhere else. Do you know what speed of connection you need to have to play 4K at 60 frames?
20 gigs?
40.
Wow, okay.
That's the minimum. So
okay, so that like most of my friends, they're done.
Yeah.
Unless you have fiber.
Exactly. Even if you have fiber, honestly,
even with fiber.
Like that we have, for those who don't know, for whatever bizarre reason, we kind of live in buttfuck.
Yeah.
And we're some of the fastest internet in Ontario. Yeah. That's pushing us. If you don't live in like a university or someplace with a T1 connection or whatever.
Yeah, I'm usually around maybe 60.
Yeah, but that's peak, and that's assuming you've got a good. Yeah. You know, so like there's going to be that. Like,
so what I have seen about Stadia is like, if you were to play the game at 4K for like 60 minutes, you're looking at like a terabyte's worth of data. So
so if you don't have unlimited, you're straight up fucked.
So like we have unlimited, which is
same
amazing.
thing out here.
This is the best internet I've ever had. I used to live in I lived in
Toronto and it cost me twice as much for half as good. But seriously, we get 60 plus, and you can actually pay more to get higher. Yeah, and it's like unlimited for like $60 a month.
I download like 6 gigs a month or 600 gigs a month, like on average.
Yeah, exactly.
I think on just my computer. Not I think my Xbox is. A lot
exactly. Before you even get to that, but anyway, for the average person,
most of my friends that live in like actual fuck nowhere, but they're like right next to a city that have shit internet.
Yeah.
They can't play that.
Right. So honestly, like 90% of the people who this is targeted at, i.e. you can't afford a gaming rig, but you want to be able to play at that quality, still aren't going to be able to do it.
No.
And they've got, I think it's down to, for 1080p at 60, I'd hate to see what their requirements for 4K at 120 are, but 1080p at 60 is more reasonable, and I think it's between 10 to 15, they said it was. But at that point, it really isn't that expensive to, like, the new consoles will do that. So you're not going to pay that much more. Plus, you own your games. Yeah. And you actually have a physical system. Yeah.
And like what I saw about it was it was like $169.
Yeah, I think it was $169. Gives you the controller and the connection setup.
And then it was like, how much was it a month?
I think it's $15.99 was their basic service. So.
And then you still have to buy. Yeah, some games on that.
Well, and a lot, exactly. That's not $15.99 for everything. That's the equivalent of the Xbox Live Gold Pass, but comes with nothing.
Yeah, you still got to buy your games.
Exactly, and then again, all of these other services like Uplay Plus are a price on top of that. Now, if you were just going to charge me $15 a month, and okay, you know what? Here's 200 games or 100 games that you can play again. I'd be down for that. But this isn't a complete thing. This is like having to pay for your internet connection. Right now, you remember the good old days. You paid for your internet connection, that was it. Yeah. Then it was, okay, you paid for your internet connection, you paid for Xbox Live. Now it's you pay for your internet connection, you pay for
Xbox Live.
You pay for Stadia, you pay for Uplay Plus and everything else. So I really don't know, and I got a funny feeling that it's not support. So I think the Ouya Tuya is about the way of things.
I kind of hope it fails in just like a weird way. Like I don't know. I just don't think it's going to work.
I don't think it is. I don't hope it fails because I think for that rare person who has a blazing connection but can't afford a real system, I hope they get it and love it. But I really think that overlap.
Or maybe it will just like force the internet provider companies to step their game up. That would actually be like the best outcome.
That would be the best outcome, but I don't see
gamers rising up over this issue.
Yeah, especially when we're talking about billions of dollars of infrastructure to get that internet up to speed. Like,
man, Elon's satellite internet.
Exactly.
All be on, on Constellation.
Well, yeah, exactly. But yeah, shall we continue on to the next?
Yeah,
I think we're just going to do this in one sitting this time, which is good because I think we're going to have about 2 hours instead of the usual 4.5 or 5 we end up with.
So maybe we not much content this E3.
There really hasn't been. So Squeenix. They opened with what they should have opened with.
Yeah.
Which is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
But it's going to be episodic.
So I'm going to go out and say something that is going to anger probably a lot of people of my generation and say I actually like the fact that they are making it in the Final Fantasy 15 style of combat as opposed to the old one, and here's the reason why. If you're going to go to the effort of remaking a game, not just mastering the graphics, but remaking the game, I actually want something different about it. If I just wanted to play the game again, it's like $10 on Steam.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's going to be a more action-oriented game. That being said, people are going to punch me for this.
No, I can agree. I can agree with you on
the episodic, I'm okay with it only because Final Fantasy 15, this is basically Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 7 edition, took like 10 years and almost bankrupted the company. So I think that the episodic thing is actually a good idea because if it sells, and I'm sure it's going to fucking sell, then it gets them to produce more. As long as the game gives me a certain percentage, like let's say it's a 10 or 20 hour game or something, I'm okay with that. If it's like a 5-hour game, then I'm going to be pissed. But it looks like they're going to do the whole, quote, story of Midgar, which if you haven't played the original game, that was the entire first disc out of the 3-disc set. So that's like 20, 30 hours of content. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I might wait and see where it goes. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it episodically because with the way my attention span for games works is if I was to go put the time into it, but then I have to wait months, I might not go back to it.
Well, with most things like that, honestly, what I end up doing, this will be the exception probably, because again, this was a game when I was growing up, I probably sunk 200 hours into. And again, it's not the kind of game you need to do that. You could beat it in about 50 or so. It's going to be one of those where I'll do that. But normally with episodic games, I don't play them till they're done. So like, okay, for example, I never really got into Life is Strange, but I own the complete edition, but I didn't buy it until it had come out as a complete game. Because what you really don't want is to have like the Telltale kind of thing where it's like, oh, part 1 and 2, where's 3 and 4? Not coming.
Yeah.
So I understand that entirely. But I also understand why they're doing it because they've actually been a little bit shaky financially from what I understand. Like Final Fantasy 15 was a make or break for the franchise. It would have killed it if it didn't sell super, super well, which is ironic because that's how Final Fantasy started, if you don't know that story. It's called Final Fantasy. They were actually bankrupt. They were just finishing that game and pushing it out, and they named it that because it was going to be their last game. And then it literally revived Squaresoft before it was Square Enix. But anyway, I think it looks really fucking cool.
I wrote Squaresoft on my...
Yeah, exactly. I think it looks really fucking cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, that boss battle they showed?
It looked cool, because I'm like, I remember that boss fight. I'm like, that seems a lot cooler.
Yeah,
I don't know how I felt about the whole, like, get behind cover thing. It would have been cool to just keep the action, but... I think try to dodge, but it seemed like that part was just like, this could be a little more, instead of just like, I'm going to stand behind this thing.
Yes, exactly. But I think the whole idea is to get you switching between guys. Like, one guy distracts it behind cover, the other guy runs around and hits it. But that looked like a pretty intense fight. That fight was nowhere near that interesting in the original game.
No.
I like the fact, I know this sounds stupid, and I might sound like an asshole for saying this, but I was afraid that Barrett was going to get the PC treatment and be made into like an attractive and successful African American, and he actually still sounds ghetto as all hell, and I am glad for that because that was a big part of his character, but he remains badass, and that's the important thing. So that was really, like, with the minigun arm, like, honestly, that was cooler than the stuff with Cloud. Don't get me wrong, I know everyone loves Cloud, but Barrett stole the show on that one me. You know,
like I remember my like I didn't own it when it first came out. My friend next door had it.
Yeah.
And he was like older than me, and he showed me a bit of the game. See, my introduction to Final Fantasy VII was when Knights of the Round's being called in. That was the first thing I ever saw with Final Fantasy.
I was the same thing. You brought your friends over and showed them all the cool summoning stuff?
No, he brought me over and showed me him killing Sephiroth. That's the first bit I saw.
Oh, so you started at the end?
I started at the end. He's just like, yo, come watch this. And then it's him just doing Knights of the Round and Sephiroth. And I was like, oh, cool, this game looks really cool. And like I didn't know what he was doing. And it's like, oh, yeah. I later realized that he just spoiled the boss battle. So.
Well. But anyway, and it was the Tifa reveal, which is a big deal for us longtime fans of the game. She looks appropriately badass, too.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did not try to get rid of her assets or leather skirt and tank top fighting outfit, because again, I don't honestly care. I'm not one of these people who says, look, I gotta stare at tits in a game, but the fact is the character design is iconic, so don't fuck with it. It'd be like if they made Cloud's sword smaller or took Barrett's gun arm off. Like, the character looks a certain way, and she's a badass, you know? So, and to be fair, she actually dresses fairly close to how an actual female MMA fighter would dress.
That's true.
You know, like, if you actually watch the tank top and stuff is more or less what they wear. But anyway, I'm hyped. I know you said you're not necessarily going to get... I mean, I imagine you'll play it once all the episodes are
I'll definitely play it once everything comes out, but I just the way my attention span works, I don't know if I would be able to make it through an episodic game without it being all out already.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, as someone who actually played the original, this section of it is a story arc to completion, so you won't be left with blue balls at the end. If you finish this, you'll be like, okay, yeah, it's a section out of a larger world, but you won't feel like, oh shit, what's gonna happen. You'll be like, okay, this segment is completed. But anyway, we'll see. But yeah, I'm hyped. I think it was a great way to open for them.
Oh yeah, no, look.
Which is especially given that they flowed into immediately Life is Strange 2 afterwards. I don't understand why this game series sells as well as it does, because to be frank and honest, it doesn't do anything particularly interesting that hasn't been done many times before. It sells in episodes, and particularly like blue balls, oh, what's going to happen next episodes. But hey, it's been successful for them. If you like it, you're getting more of it. I was never, because it's basically a visual novel almost, just, you know, a little more detailed. But hey, if you like it, go for it.
Go for it.
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered. You're going to notice a bit of a theme with this presentation, actually. You're going to hear the word remake and remastered quite a bit as we go through. I didn't play the original because I was kind of a hardcore Final Fantasy fan, and this is a really casual kind of game. But hey, cool that they're letting it be multiplayer. You know, I like the fact that there a lot of games they've kind of mentioned throughout E3, they're like, oh yeah, on the couch multiplayer. That sort of thing. I noticed
with one thing is all of the like co-op games now are 3 people.
Yeah,
you notice that?
I don't know what's up with that. I mean, honestly, the reason though, the co-op games used to be either 2 or 4 because that's how many controllers you can plug in.
And now it seems it's like, oh no, it's like 3-player co-op. And it's like, why is everything 3 players now?
I'm assuming it's like supposed to be like the dad and 2 kids, or the husband and wife and a kid that's old enough, or I don't know.
Did focus groups just telling people to have only 3 friends, like 2 other friends now?
Yeah, exactly. You can't, you know, you're either playing a massively online battle royal or you're playing with your 3 real life friends. There's nothing in the middle.
Cardinal up there.
Well, there is. That's cool. But yeah, so hey, great. Squaresoft has actually done, with the exception of updating the graphics on some that actually didn't need a graphical update for the pixelized ones, they've been really good with their remasters. So cool. Keep it up. Obviously, if you can't think of anything new, sell the same shit you already have out.
Yeah.
Octopath Traveler is now on Steam. I'm still fucking pissed over the $90 Steam price tag.
Yeah,
it's fucking obscene.
So I bought it on Switch.
Yeah.
But I was traveling around when it came out on Switch, so I was playing it a lot, and I haven't really touched my Switch since I stopped traveling.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to play that game more, but then it's like, do I want to play it on... I was like, oh, maybe I'll play it on PC. And so I looked when it came out, and I was like, $90.
$90. For the record, we are in Canada. Games are a little more expensive, but typically a new AAA, you know, your Skyrims, your Assassin's Creeds, etc., is $79.99 Canadian. This is a pixel RPG.
I feel like I bought it for $40 on Switch.
Yeah, this is a pixel RPG that is... I don't know, you probably got it on sale. It's usually about $60 on Switch, rather. But this is a pixel RPG for $90. That's $20 more, $10 to $20 more than your average full-price AAA modern graphics game. I don't know what the hell they're thinking, but I'm not buying it.
No. I if it was like, I would say if it was $40, because I had that in my Steam wallet.
Yeah.
I had $39.99 because I refunded a game.
There we go.
And I was just like, all right, if it's like $40, I'll get it.
Yeah.
And I was like, $90?
Yeah.
No
like,
way.
Even if
No
you say,
way.
look, you know what? It's a new release. We got a price match.
Especially when I already own it.
Yeah.
I should just go back and play it, but I just, my setup's really fucked up right now.
But anyway, yeah. I might buy it for Steam when it gets lower, but odds are what I'm just going to do is go buy a used Switch copy for $20 or something. So then we had yet another remaster, The Last Remnant Remastered. I put a note, I'm sensing a theme here. The original was actually a really cool, kind of different RPG. I played it on Steam, the original release. Now on Switch. Honestly, if you haven't played it and you like RPGs, you can miss 3/4 of the game. If you just play through the story and don't explore all the extra areas, you actually miss a ton of the game. But it's actually a cool game, so hey, go for it. If you like RPGs and you haven't played The Last Remnant, I recommend grabbing it.
I don't remember. I remember playing it, but I don't remember the game.
It's kind of like, instead of, you know how you, like, in normal games, you get, like, you know, 3 or 4 characters in, like, a Japanese RPG? In this, you build squads of, like, 5 to 8 guys, or something like that, and each one act as a party member. So you don't command, you know, you'll have, like, 40 guys on the field, but you command them as... Yeah, you remember that one? Yeah. So, fun game. Cool.
I always remember the, just, like, the screen for, like, the splash screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we had Dragon Quest Builders 2. I'm hoping this is the final game in this voxel game series of things. I'm going to be honest, I actually was like, whatever at the beginning of it. By the end of it, I was actually kind of interested. I like the aesthetic in the fact that the monsters and stuff aren't all weird cubes. It's just a cube world. And I like the fact that it looks like it's actually adding gameplay to Minecraft. Like, Minecraft wasn't really so much a game as it was a concept.
Yeah.
You know, yes, there's skeletons and other crap, but no one actually played it for that.
No, you just go fuck around for a bit and build something cool.
Exactly. This looks like they're actually adding...
They have added story mode to that game, but yeah, it'd be interesting
sort
to see.
of, but it's...
I heard they're making a Dragon Quest phone, like, Pokemon game.
Interesting. Honestly, that's probably something that's out in Japan and just hasn't come here yet. But, yeah, I actually am kind of interested in this. And I think they said it's going to be on the Switch, too. Not on PC, unfortunately, but I might give this one a try. I'd probably not... I would like to see some actual gameplay and not just a random series of clips, but it looked okay. Then on to Dragon Quest 12, I think we're at, whatever it is, the Definitive Edition. I have the Steam version. If you like the classic Japanese RPG, this is the exemplar of the genre. Buy it. It's 80 hours of classic JRPG stuff. Great fun.
I haven't played
cool graphics.
I think I played one on Game Boy.
Yeah, exactly.
I played.
But anyway, I have this one on Steam. It's great. Graphics are great. Story's cool. That kind of quirky art style by the guy who did Dragon Ball. So if you like it, if you've liked Japanese RPGs, I 100% behind it. Once again, yet another re-release of a game that is already out.
Yeah.
It's getting the Skyrim treatment at this point. But if you like it, get it. If you don't like that type of game, ignore it. So then we had a random selection of quote-unquote indie games. And I put a note, does it really still count as a random indie game if Squeenix is publishing them? It's kind of hard to say. I think this is more just their low-budget division as opposed to an indie division. I'm not one of those hipsters who makes a huge distinction anyway.
No, I mean, if it's like a studio I've heard of before and it's like supposed to be an indie game, then I'm a little more just like, whatever. Like, but if it's if someone I haven't heard of and it looks interesting, then
why not?
I'm in.
Yep. So we had Circuit Superstars stood out for me. Top-down racing. I missed those in the arcade. You know, where you had the little wheel and it was a top-down racing game. I couldn't tell much from the little trailer they showed, but I actually really like that style of game, so I'll probably give it a try. Then we moved on to Battalion 1944. I put World War II shooter if you like being able to move like Doom Guy. Looked like they're running around at about 90 miles an hour.
No, like a buddy of mine got it, and I was like looking at it. I'm like, this just seems like Call of Duty. Like
I literally put, it looks like a poor man's Call of Duty. Yeah. But you're moving faster. It looks like actually
it looks way too fast.
It looks like the old Call of Duty style with new Call of Duty speed.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm like, man. I'm like, it looks cool, but that market is so saturated at this point. I am not buying another game in that genre. Cool that they're offering their music on streaming services, so I don't have to go to YouTube to listen to my Final Fantasy music backgrounds anymore, or just listen to it as a background track while playing Final Fantasy 15 in the car.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Every
once in a while, I'll go back and listen to an old soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really nice.
There's some good stuff. So that's a good idea. Then we have the Kingdom Hearts 3 expansion coming this winter.
I actually just got it on Xbox.
Yeah.
And now I won't be able to play it anymore. So.
I just put, I don't know if I have ever seen a trailer that shows less about a game than this one before.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another cat.
More kitties.
More kitties. We only got one more, and then all three of them will have come in and said hi.
Yeah, I skipped watching the trailer for it because I didn't want to get hyped about something that was
that you can't actually play right now.
I can't actually play right now. So
Fair enough.
No, I'm kind of disappointed because I was having fun getting back into the groove of it, and then now my Xbox doesn't turn back on.
Yeah, well, I might end up purchasing a PlayStation, the next generation one, and hopefully with the Kingdom Hearts Complete Edition or something comes out on it. So.
Kingdom Hearts. Ooh.
Oh, watch out! For those who don't know, the cat just leaped up and jumped behind Capper's chair.
Yeah, like Kingdom Hearts, like 3.2.7.9 will be there.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Too many points. Like
too many points. Final Fantasy 14 expansion. I don't play it. I can't comment whether it looks good or not.
That's just
cutscene looked cool, but I mostly just skipped.
I mean, for how long it's gone on, it must be a fun MMO that people like. So.
Well, it was a reboot. It was interesting because when it launched, they basically shut it down a month later and apologized to everyone and said, it's coming back in a few months, we'll fix it. And they didn't, it's still going. So, though apparently Final Fantasy 11, the first Final Fantasy one, still has a higher player count than 14.
Really?
Yeah.
I played the demo for that one.
I played it a long time, a lot. And yeah, actually, if you like MMOs, it's cool because their kind of gimmick is you can't do anything alone. Everything has to be done as a group. So it's meant to make a really good community, but there's also a lot of toxic people involved with that. So, yeah. Anyway, cool that it's still going. I'm glad. I like it when a company supports its games. It doesn't just drop them, even when the previous game still sells more. So
it's interesting that they would shut the whole thing down instead of letting it go and try to patch it. I think that's very responsible. Like, I'm sure the people would have been mad that liked it, but I think it's probably in the long run better for your game.
Well, obviously, because I thought it was going to die after that, and now it's made a bit of a bounce back. So. Yeah. Anyway, it's good that they did that.
Instead of play it for 3 more months and just hate it and then never want to go back to it.
Yeah, I think it was a gamble and it paid off.
Yeah.
And I think maybe other people should take note, not naming any names, but if you release a buggy piece of crap, maybe be like, listen, we're going to take it offline for a little while and then fix it.
Yeah, that would be
more Dying Light 2. Cool. Yeah. Cool. Then a list of the Saga games. I actually love that series, classic JRPG series. They're bringing out... a pack of Saga games, like classic ones, so cool.
Yeah.
I like the old ones. They're really fucking hard though. Not that the gameplay is hard, but the way the game works is it tracks so many things that if you don't know what you're doing, you will fuck up the whole world and make it virtually unbeatable and have no idea that you did that.
Yeah, I've never played that.
They typically have permadeath for characters. And this is back on the NES, they had permadeath for characters. So you'll have health and life. And life, once it's gone, the guy is just erased from the game. And you can never really rebuild life. So and the thing is that things that you do in-game, it's not like a huge choice-based thing like modern ones, but like if you spend too much time leveling up over here, this town where you needed to go to get weapons gets destroyed.
Well, that's kind of like that actually makes sense, though.
Yes.
It's not like I am the hero of the universe, and I must save the world. Oh, hey, I'm gonna go fish over there for like 14 hours.
Yeah, if you do that, then bad shit's gonna happen.
Okay.
And it's interesting. The problem is, though, the game gives you no indication of why this happened. So you'll go out and you'll just assume, oh, that village was supposed to get destroyed. Well, no, it wasn't. You were actually supposed to be there and stop it from getting destroyed.
That's actually really cool.
It is actually really neat. But it's very esoteric. But yeah, give them a try. I think I have. I have a couple of them. You can give it a try sometime. Okay. They're fun. Yeah, and then we had Brave Exvius War of the Visions. So Brave Exvius is one of the very few phone games I actually played for any length of time. I don't play anymore. The world is very interesting. And it was because it's actually a fun RPG that just happens to have collectible characters. And it's one of those games where if you're not big into the multiplayer meta, you can actually really enjoy the game without having to bother about random characters and other stuff. And actually had a good story for the campaign mode. So I actually really enjoyed it. It looks like they're making a Final Fantasy Tactics in that world by the look of this.
Yeah.
For that. Now, here's the question. Is it going to be gacha loot box based? If so, fuck it. If not, I actually want to give it a try.
I don't know. I'm just so worried about all the monetization schemes of a lot of these games.
Well, that's it.
It's like, oh, that looks cool, but it's like, oh, wait a second, though.
Yeah, but this trailer was so vague. I couldn't tell. Is this an actual game that's just based in that world of the phone game, or is this another phone-based game? Because the actual gameplay spots they showed looked like a Final Fantasy Tactics style RPG. But phone games have attempted that before, too. So we'll see. It's got a little bit potential. Then we had what I think is the first original thing in this entire presentation, which is Outriders. Cool-looking teaser.
Some
more
Polish guys.
Yeah.
I like Polish developers.
Yeah. I put they made they emphasized that it was a dark modern shooter, and I'm just like, hopefully that means more like Doom and less like Call of Duty or Battlefield, because that's a really vague fucking statement.
Yeah, and I don't know, I still really don't know what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I like Bulletstorm.
Yeah.
So I mean, before Gearbox got a hold of it, but I like Bulletstorm. So hey, they can make shooters.
Yeah, we'll see what they make. We'll see what they come up with.
Yeah. I'm just happy they had something fresh. Then we had Onikani, which is released August 22nd this year. Looked like an action RPG in the JRPG style. That's kind of old school Squaresoft stuff. So
interesting. Could be cool.
Could be cool. There wasn't a whole lot there to say.
No.
This one, the next one, I was really surprised with, the Final Fantasy VIII remaster.
It's my most hype fucking thing.
Well, to be honest, I'm amazed it took this long. I actually thought I saw
it, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been that was like my first Final Fantasy game that my parents bought for me.
Yeah, not a bad choice to get into the series with.
Yeah, I played that, and I played was it Triple Triad?
Yeah.
I just play that all the time. I don't think I ever beat the game.
So the original Final Fantasy
I don't think I've ever actually beat an actual Final Fantasy game.
Oh. Well, Final Fantasy XI actually let you play 15. Triple Triad out online in a league.
What?
Yeah. And it had the one from Final Fantasy IX as well, if I remember correctly.
In all I got Final Fantasy VIII, and then my next one was 10, and all I did was play Blitzball. I just get sidetracked by the like with Gwent. I get sidetracked by that shit, and I'm like, well, I might as well go beat the game now.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, as with Gwent releasing its own game, they could release Final Fantasy Blitzball, and I'd be fucking in it.
I'm in.
Second.
I am in.
Like. Blitzball Manager 2019.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like they got some IPs they could work with.
They do, for sure. But anyway, I actually thought the reason it was taking this long was because I thought they were going to give it the full treatment that they're giving 7, and I'm like, okay, they're not re-releasing it as a remaster because they're going to do a remake 5 years from now. No, it looks like they're doing a remaster. It's a bit of a weird game in the way the level up system and junctioning and stuff works. It takes a little time to get into, but it's well worth it. I think it's one of the better entries into the series. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. If you like JRPGs and you haven't played this one, nab it. It's good.
The game's so much fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun. A lot of hours will put you into that too. And then an interesting...
A lot of the cutscenes of that game were so good too.
Oh yeah, well, for the time they were mind-blowing.
I remember though, at the when you're at your like graduation ceremony or whatever, when he's drinking, he like drinks it into it, like the glass goes into his like eyeball, and it's, like I remember that just being hilarious.
Yeah. And then an interesting, surprising finish. The Avengers.
Yeah.
May 15th, 2020. And I'm going to tell you, I have no idea how to feel about this because I don't know. There's something that's coming later that actually made me a lot less hyped about this one, which we'll get to when we get to it. But it's cool.
Yeah,
Teaser was neat. I think they spent a little too much time emphasizing the fact that they couldn't afford the actual actors who play the Avengers by pulling out the no names they got to play. Now, the voices sound good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I would spend that much time pointing out, hey, we don't have Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's, I want to see gameplay.
I
feel like I'm going to get anthemed on this one.
Yeah, though I will say a couple of things did make me excited. Regularly releasing new content. Yeah, good idea, because the Avengers is such a big
new
universe.
Characters, no loot boxes.
No loot boxes, big one. 4-player co-op. For this type of game, that's almost a must. No loot boxes. The big thing is, though, is that what they did not mention is how they plan to monetize this for continuous release.
I think it's just going to be you can just buy costumes.
That's what I'm hoping.
That's what I hope will happen.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping it's not, but hey, it seems like a really good idea. I just don't know what the fuck the game's about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is it like an RPG? Is it an action game? Is it a brawler? Is it a beat 'em up? You know, they showed kind of, Iron Man flying around, and then they had some guys beating the shit out of each other on the ground. And apparently there's PlayStation exclusives.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Okay. Good
Boo.
for them.
But, I mean, if they stick to this no loot boxes stuff, it's obviously going to have some form of microtransactions to pay for the continuous content.
If they make it that you can buy just like, I like that costume, I want to buy that costume.
I want Spider-Man in his Venom black outfit costume. I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that.
I'm very cool with that. Because, again, you got to pay for the new stuff somehow.
Yeah.
So this is one that's got like this huge untapped potential, but I'm actually holding back the hype.
Yeah, no.
Because they didn't really show anything, right?
It's just like, I don't want to get bamboozled again.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't want to get bamboozled. It's a long release. This is one of the longest release dates this E3, May 15th, 2020. I think this is the furthest ahead confirmed release date. Because there's lots of stuff that's just like coming 2020 or in development.
Yeah.
But this is almost a year ahead of time. And that's one thing I noticed about this E3. They haven't shown a lot of, it's coming out soon. There's been a lot of later this year, early next year, and actual dates.
Nintendo's were basically all in September.
Exactly. Well, we'll get to that very shortly. But, so anyway, I won't get hyped because I refuse to hype for what might suck, but at the same time, there's some potential here.
I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
And so I put down, it was actually a solid presentation, but very little new.
Yeah.
It was more, this one was almost more, I know all of E3 is just advertising, but this one felt the most, it was just like, here's a bunch of commercials for some games we're working on.
Again, it was hype for a thing I was
already kind of hyped about. Or here's something you love that's coming out with updated graphics.
Excited for old things that are looking shiny.
Yeah. So
that really seems to be the theme of...
not only this E3 presentation, but this E3 in general. There was very little... It's almost like anti-innovation. It's like, what can we do? But hey, you do what you do. So, Nintendies. So they put up next.
Yeah, I don't have my notes, but
That's okay. It's
opened up with the fun with Doug Bowser.
Okay, yeah. So before we get into that, I want to add, I only watched the 45-minute Nintendo Direct presentation, not the 4-hour Treehouse expanded version. So
the same.
I just want to make sure that if we say that something didn't show a lot of footage, but they actually ended up showing an hour of footage later, I wasn't going to say burned out, because this E3 has been pretty short and sweet, but given that all the other presentations were like an hour and a half, I couldn't sit. Plus, the Treehouse hosts have universally sucked every single year.
I hate the... personality. Like, it's like everyone just gets the worst personalities.
Yeah.
But first one without Reggie. Very sad about that.
Yeah.
My body was Reggie.
Body was ready for some Nintendies. But anyway.
But
Smash expansion.
I got some more new Echo Fighters from what was the game series?
Dragon Quest.
Or
Dragon Warrior, depending on when you first played it.
Dragon Warrior, I think.
Dragon Warrior. Well, it's Dragon Quest in Japan, and up until like the most recent one, it was Dragon Warrior in North America. But whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. I haven't really played that game since the game I think that it was on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
Looks cool. Add more content.
Did we really need yet another sword fighter edge pressure kind of guy? I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of the abilities I saw, it's like, oh, really? More of this shit, eh?
It's like, okay. So we've got, Marth number 8 slash, Link, Shulk, whatever. But hey, you know what? They're honestly, like, what are we? The roster's going to be like 50 plus now or something? Like,
oh, no, we're over. It started with 64, wasn't it?
Yeah, 68. So we'll be over 70 now.
Yeah.
It's really hard to make each one original at that stage. So great, we're getting new content. I love this Smash. It's been fantastic. So glad to keep adding to it. That's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Yeah, no, I like more fighters.
It's
cool.
more fighters, more Smash. I'm down. Coming out sometime this summer. They didn't give an exact date for that, but
one thing. I looked at Nintendo's release pattern for from basically now to the end of the year.
Yeah,
there's like a new cool game coming out every week.
Yeah, honestly, I was really impressed with how complete a lot of their E3 stuff was this year, and it makes sense because with Nintendo, you know what they're working on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They don't do a whole lot of new at this stage, but they've got enough existing franchises to mix and match that you don't really need to.
Well, they had some new franchises in the presentation that looked a little bit interesting.
Well, that's true. We'll get to it as we get to it.
We'll get to it.
But yeah, I'll just do it in the order because I actually took notes in the order it came up. So just bring up.
Yeah, I don't have my notes on this.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So Dragon Quest coming out. They reiterated that. Great. So Luigi's Mansion 3. I love how the narrator is even shitting on Luigi at this point.
Yeah.
It's like being sarcastic about him. And though it looks like he's channeling some of the Mario Kart Luigi death stare, smashing ghosts into each other.
Just whipping them around, got him in his vacuum cleaners, whipping them around, and then he's Gooigi.
Yeah. Co-op, 8-player co-op, nice. Yeah. Cool idea. I've never really been huge into the Luigi's Mansion games,
I haven't played one.
This one looks kind of fun and quirky, and if it's a reasonable price, I'll probably grab it. The 8-player, honestly, the fact that you play 8 players in one room by splitting up the Joy-Cons, that seems like it could be some fun.
That could be fun.
Like a good party kind of game.
Some good laughs.
I think the Switch is really, I don't know how they figure this out, because since the first Wii, every time this comes out, I think, you know what? They fucking sunk themselves with another stupid fucking gimmick this time. It's not going to work. And it just ends up being this great party system. Like, even, what was it, the cardboard, the Labo, or whatever it was. I'm like, this is stupid, it's never going to work. And it turned out to be actually pretty fucking cool. Like, I didn't buy a bunch of it.
I saw a picture the other day of, people in an airport, and they were just, a couple guys on that one, a couple guys on this one, they're in an airport terminal waiting for their flight, and everyone's playing Smash together. Yeah. And it's it's kind of cool,
exactly.
That's possible.
Yeah, Nintendo has made, anyone can pick it up and play it anywhere. You don't have to be a gamer.
Especially when, with the games where you can, turn the controller to the side and then you have a controller. So you got, a couple buttons and a joystick, and your game has to be fun and playable with that many buttons. Exactly. It's pretty cool.
It's cool, yeah. Shows that they really needed to never change. They should have just kept the old brick controller. never needed to move past that. But seriously, I'm really looking forward to some of this stuff coming up for that reason. So then we have Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics. When they first started it with the puppet, I was just like, what?
Yeah, what is this going to be?
I'm like, I know that from somewhere. And Dark Crystal, that's fucking old school. That's drawing from the distant past to pull in.
I just know it from the memes.
Right. So it's a tactical RPG based on a fantasy series by the creator of the Muppets. I don't know what more there is to say than that. I love the genre. Tactical RPGs are my thing. There's so many. I play indie ones. I play non-indie ones. Still trying to recapture that Final Fantasy Tactics flavor, which has never really been done since. But honestly, I'm probably going to play this game. Again, depends. If they put it on Steam for $90 later, maybe
price tag would matter.
But if it's $40 on the eShop or something, I think I could go with that. Then we got the Link's Awakening remake. There's no release date for the Dark Crystal. Link's Awakening remake, September 20th.
A lot of games coming out.
September. I don't think this game needed a remake, but honestly, if you're going to remake a Zelda game, this is a good one. This, it looks cute but true to the original. That dungeon maker thing looks like a kind of fun.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
I mean, it's probably going to be gimmicky, but at the same time, Nintendo knows how to do gimmicky well.
Yeah. Especially if you can share your dungeons and
you get a little Mario Maker vibe to it, stuff like that.
It could be cool.
Yeah, so that's cool. Tales of Mana, early 2020. The Mana series has been a giant hit or miss series. Like, Secret of Mana, not the remake, but the original was fantastic. Way back on the SNES back in the day. This could be really great or it could be garbage. It didn't really show enough to tell.
Yeah.
And it's been such an inconsistent series. Then there's the collection of the original Mana games, which you should go out and buy because they're available right now. And this is the first time the third one has been released in North America.
Oh.
It's fucking amazing. This was one of those games, and I noticed that with Square Enix, and I made a comment I should have put up. A lot of these games that I not quite so legally downloaded for emulator homemade translations of on the SNES are now finally seeing Western release. This was one of those ones everyone wanted. I think it was called Seiken Densetsu 3, which is the Legend of Mana 3. It's great. And hopefully it gets a real translation because the company that used to do them a lot online, they were actually called DJAP, was the name of the company because they made it to translate it to English. They called themselves DJAP.
Okay.
The most and the thing is, they were huge fans, but it's the most unintentionally racist name you can think of.
Let's go DJAP this game.
Exactly, taking the Jap out of the games. But at the same time, so I've played. I think it was the DJAP translation back in the day. So I actually haven't bought it yet because I've been watching E3. I haven't had a chance to play anything. The first game I buy based off of E3 stuff when we're done is probably going to be this collection to play. I highly recommend it.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Yeah, and even just to play, because it looks like it has the original Secret of Mana, the pixel one, not the shitty remake. That one's well worth playing too. It's really stood the test of time. The graphics look unfucking real for pixel graphics on the Super Nintendo, and the gameplay really hasn't been anything quite like it since. So yeah, highly recommended. I don't want to say I'm hyped because I've played them all before, but for a new generation to have that opportunity. The Witcher's coming to Switch. Oh.
Yeah, I saw that and I was just thinking, yay, that's gonna look not great.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's an odd choice for Nintendo because The Witcher is like the sex, drugs, and rock and roll of the game world. And not even, like, subtly, like in some games, but, like, blatantly.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I love the game.
Have you seen the Nintendo eShop, though? There's some very questionable games on there.
Well, that's true, and we'll actually get to some more of this a little bit further down. But this just seemed a really odd choice. But I think The Witcher 3 at this point is entering its Skyrim phase.
Yeah.
Where it's a classic game, everyone loves it, so they're just going to put it on everything.
It should be the last one, I think, though. I think they've kind of hit everything, so...
Well, yeah, but we said the same thing about Skyrim, and I'm amazed Todd Howard wasn't shilling it this year.
Yeah.
But anyway.
This is the CD Projekt Red Todd Howard that's going to just
yeah, exactly.
continue to make Witcher 3 a reality. Witcher 3 on the new systems.
Well, it's one of those things where they're like, oh yeah, it's going to be the final game, blah, 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 which is sad because I fucking love the series. But at the same time, okay, well, they're still going to make money from it, I guess. They got to fund that Cyberpunk 2077 until it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so then we've got, moving on, we got Fire Emblem, Three Houses.
Yeah, so I haven't played a Fire Emblem game before.
Really? Not even any of them?
No,
okay.
None of them.
I highly recommend the one. There's the first one that came out on 3DS. I forget what it's called.
Yes,
but it's,
I
never
had a 3DS.
Oh, you can borrow mine sometime. It's actually a really good game, and you'll burn a lot of hours in that game.
No, I've always been intrigued by the games, and I've just never had the system to get one. So
That's
now
fair.
I kind of want to.
Yeah, well, it looks very anime. But beautiful animation, no gameplay. But honestly, Fire Emblem is one of those very few games. There has never been a bad Fire Emblem game. There have been hard Fire Emblem games. This is another game where leveling the wrong character early in the game fucks you for the end game. Newer ones let you go back and play old, like, fight random encounters. The older ones didn't let you do that. So if you fucked up and you said, oh, this guy's really cool, I want to level him up, and it turns out he's not one of the higher tier guys later on, you've now wasted all that experience. There's a limited amount of experience in the game. So it was tough, because there was a couple I got to the end game on where I literally could not beat it no matter what, just because I had picked the wrong characters through the game.
That's very punishing.
The new ones are a little more forgiving.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm hyped. Honestly, there's no gameplay to it, but I already know what Fire Emblem gameplay is going to be like, so I'm cool with that. Resident Evil, again, another odd choice for the Switch. I know it's the wrong game.
The advertisement too. It's like, hey, we're just gonna break into this house and play on our
I'm
Switch.
not gonna lie. I know it's the wrong Resident Evil, but I was waiting for X to give it to you to play the whole fucking time through that trailer, just waiting for him to pop out. But yeah, let's break into this abandoned house and play it. Like,
I mean, they did have a key.
They did have a key.
Maybe they stole it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you own a Switch and happen to own an abandoned haunted house,
hey,
take your Switch there.
It didn't make any sense. I don't know. It was just a weird way to show it.
It was. I mean, I understand they're trying to play up the portability.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's usually pretty good at advertisements, but I think that was a miss.
Yeah, I would say it's a miss on that one.
But, hey, whatever. If you only have a Switch and you want to play Resident Evil, now you can play almost all of them on it. I think this will be all of them but 7 with these 2 being released. Maybe 5 still isn't on it. But I think 1 through 4, or 2, 3, and 4 were already on the Switch. I don't think 5 is. 1 and 6 are now going to be on the Switch. So, or at least all the main series. I know there's 45 spin-offs, but no one cares about those anyway. So odd choice for the Switch, but hey, if that's what you're going to play it on, go to your haunted house, bring your Switch. If you can afford a haunted house, you can probably afford a PlayStation or a gaming PC, but hey, power to you, buddy. Next up, the next really odd choice for the Switch. Mind you, they did kind of make a point when he was talking with the executives when they kicked Bowser off and brought Bowser on, about how they were saying there were games for everyone. And I think this continues on. No More Heroes 3. Don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, whatever's going on looked cool, but I found with a lot of these games that they're showing is when they're showing like an animated or just CGI trailer on the Switch, it makes me very hesitant about the game.
Yeah.
Because once you like actually see gameplay, you're like, oh my god, that looks like just the frame rate's just tanking and it's hard to get excited for some of these games. Like, it looks really cool, the idea behind it and the world and the art, but the actual gameplay is like...
We'll have to see. I mean, it's No More Heroes. Are we still going to have... Are we going to have to break out a Joy-Con and jerk it off to recharge the lightsaber again? I don't know. I mean, sure, why not? I mean, looks like... I actually... When the credits popped up, I actually paused to make sure Suda51 was still involved with the game. He's still the director. So, I mean, the other ones were quirky but fun kind of action games. Like I said, if you aren't aware, this is the series. If you ever hear people talking about jerking off to recharge a lightsaber, in the first No More Heroes, you had to jerk off the Wii controller to recharge your lightsaber. While it looked like he was jerking off on screen. So, anyway, could be fun. It's not out till 2020, which is, I think, one of the longer ones. Most of the Nintendo ones were real close, so... But, hey, you know
most of the ones they showed, they were coming out this year.
Yeah, I don't think this game needed a sequel, but like I said, I like Suda51. His stuff tends to be trippy but fun, so we'll see how it goes. Contra Rogue Corps, isometric top-down Contra game.
Interesting-looking characters
Interesting-looking characters. Honestly, there hasn't been a good Contra in a while. This looks fun, man. I think this is the kind of game... This, to me, just screamed Nintendo. Mm-hmm. You know, you've got a panda with a minigun running around.
Yeah, I want to play as that character.
Yeah, and local as well as online co-op. Great. Then there's a collector's edition of the classic Contra games that just got released on... I think it said it's currently out on the eStore. Cool. If you haven't played Contra, the old ones, which are on this, there's 10 of them, I think. Great, brutally hard as fuck, but great action shooter. If you want to see like the birth of the genre, this is what it was about back in the day. And if you want to talk about if you think Dark Souls is hard, play a fucking Contra game on NES, and you get a new appreciation for that sort of thing. Moving on, Demon X Machina. September 13th.
What I was talking about earlier is this game.
Yes.
So looks cool, looks awesome. I played. Did you play the demo for it?
I have not.
So a demo came out when they did like a Treehouse or Nintendo Direct thing a little while ago. Yep. And then I downloaded it. Yep. I didn't play it for a long time, and I went to go finally play it a couple weeks ago. Yep. Oh my gosh, it was hard to play.
Okay.
Like the controls, everything felt clunky. Like, I was super hyped for that game. I played that demo, and I don't want to.
Did you ever play Zone of the Enders?
I did.
Okay, so this gave me a very strong vibe of that.
And that's what I was pumped for that game because of that. Yeah. And Yeah, no, I don't know, unless they can turn things around, but the demo I played, I wasn't really too into it.
Interesting. Okay, because I was actually pretty hyped based on this, but if that demo's still up, maybe I'll see if I can
see if you can still get that demo. If not, I'll bring my Switch over.
Because now that I think about it, the Switch may not be the really right control scheme for that type of game, so that might be something to do with it. But hey...
no, like, it looks cool, but I hope they can just, like, tighten the controls up a bit and put the machine to work.
Fair enough. It looks like one of those ones that you're only going to want to play on the screen with it plugged into the dock, not on the portable. But hey, I'm glad that you did that though, because this was one I might have went and got it and bought otherwise.
Yeah, no, like I would say be cautious on that one. Like, I was playing the demo and I was just it didn't feel right to me.
Fair enough. No, that's good. Then we had Panzer Dragoon. Were you around for the original Panzer Dragoon?
I was.
I am glad to see this back. I will say, to be honest, the trailer was a little uninspired.
Since the Kinect version of it, it can do a lot better.
Yeah, it looked like this is like a remake of the original, and like I said, the trailer looked a little uninspired, but I loved like Panzer Dragoon 1, 2,
I don't
Saga,
think the trailer
Orta.
did a very good job.
No, it really didn't express, because the game is really like a high-intensity rail shooter, and this one almost made it look like a very gentle, okay, here's a dragon flying around and shooting a few people, and... I think this one will play well to the Joy-Con controls. I think it'll have.
It could be cool.
With that. It could be cool.
I would like to see just some more.
I want to see I
want to see actual someone's perspective of a person and someone playing it. But you know what? They probably showed that at that Treehouse thing. Right?
Yeah, this is one of these things where this one I may go back later and look at Treehouse.
Yeah.
If I can find a timestamp of where it is, because there's no way I'm watching 3 hours of Treehouse to get to that. But yeah, I'm glad they're bringing that series back. I loved it. And I guess it's one of those things, because it's a Sega property, right? So Nintendo now owns Sega, so why not? And nostalgia is the thing nowadays. I mean, the big thing about this E3 is we're going to...
get me hyped about stuff that I've already played before.
Exactly. More Pokemon, November 15th. I'm...
Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield.
People are outraged, okay?
Why are they outraged?
I saw like some guy from Japan... posted and was like begging someone to translate it to post it to Western audiences. Yeah. The controversy is they won't have the full decks in the game, and everyone is outraged.
They're outraged. What? Like they won't have every single?
They won't have all 1,000+ in the game.
Really?
It's only going to be like the new region plus a few more. It's not going to be the full national decks.
Oh, so like almost every other Pokemon game ever, except like the last two. So,
like, people, like, the guy was saying in his post was, like, the developers have become lazy, like, they have the B team on it, like, they're not taking it seriously. And then someone was trying to defend, saying, like, oh, well, if you go by this amount of megabytes per thing, they don't have enough space. And then some other guy, like, hit back and was refuting that, saying, no, like, they have enough space on the cartridge to fit all Pokemon. But no, apparently everyone's upset because they won't have the full decks in the game.
Well, I'm going to be frank and honest, and you may reach out and slap me for this, if you're one of those people. If you're one of those people that's upset, fuck you. I'm sorry.
Oh, this doesn't change. I'll probably play it.
I have not collected every Pokemon in even the single game, let alone the national decks, since fucking Gold and Silver. I am going to play through the game and enjoy the fuck out of it while capturing maybe 50 of the Pokemon out of the new 150 or whatever it is. I don't give a fuck if it doesn't have everyone. Listen, I understand some of the people at the fucking leagues online are going to be shitting themselves over this. I don't give a fuck. This is like, you guys are the Fortnite players of Pokemon. I don't care what you think. Is it going to be a fun game where I can run around collecting stupid monsters and throw attacks at each other and then go online and fuck up my buddy with a Blastoise or Blastoad or whatever the new thing is? Yeah. I've never given a shit about that. Yes, it was cool when the games were like, they go back.
Like, for how the game is now, though, to have them all would be really nice.
It is, but the thing is that...
like, I play the game same as you. I don't collect everything.
And honestly, you can tell in some of the other ones how far of a fucking stretch it is to try and include all this stuff. Like, you beat the main game, and now the rest of the thing opens up, and you can collect all this other stuff. It's like, I don't care. For the people who are pissed off about it, there are, 15 previous games or something like that? Go play one of those. And then when the next game comes out, or the one comes out that does have them all, or more than less likely, they're just going to release them as free DLC content later or something for this. Whatever.
I don't know. I think they should just have them all in.
The thing is that I'm fine with them putting them all in, but if doing that, now you have to rebalance all your new stuff across every old thing.
I mean, balance. There's balance in that game.
Well, at least make an attempt at it. But, like, seriously, if it's going to add... It probably adds a year to the development cycle to program in 1,000 extra previous Pokemon.
Well, they probably have most of it already done from previous games.
Yeah, but that's not how coding works. You don't just copy it and paste it. Yeah. Yes, that's how it works. We just go...
most of the models, they know exactly what they need to work for.
Yes.
So it's not like they have to, like, come up with all this new shit.
No, but it's a bunch... They can
just mimic what they've done before.
I'm willing to bet it's just Nintendo looking down and saying, listen, there's a 1% of 1% of Pokemon players who really actually go out and use these extra 700, and 99.99 only catch 50 or 60 in a game and play it, so that's who we're, catering to. Anyway, I'm not outraged. If you're outraged about it, you know what? Be outraged, because if you want it to change, that's what you have to do. Honestly, game companies listen like they never have before. So if you're pissed about it, let them know. I will not join you, but that's what you got to do. Go out and tell them. The fact, though, that someone from Japan had to even bring it up before it became an issue...
Well, no. Like, that was just, like, it was an issue before, and now they're just saying, like, this is the Japanese perspective.
Fair enough.
It's hard to hear what they're saying.
Fair enough. Anyway, I'm not too concerned. I do understand... Actually, I shouldn't dismiss it so easily. I understand where you're coming from. If you are that hardcore player who says, you know what, I played the previous one and collected 842, and I've had one that's been sitting in my inventory since Pokemon Blue. You know what I mean? Okay, I can understand why you might be mad, but at the same time... whatever. I can't get mad over it. I just
can't.
Bring them all,
release them all.
Like I said,
How are we supposed to catch them all if they're not all in the game?
Yeah, but like I said, almost every Pokemon
Everyone
game
starts with the dream they're going to do it, and then you realize you're not going to do it.
I did it in Red and Blue, I did it in Gold and Silver. And honestly, but a lot of that is, again, 3 friends getting together and pooling everything. Anyway, moving on. It still looks fun, though.
Oh, yeah,
it looks good, looks gorgeous.
Cool.
Looks like the perspective changed a little bit to be a little more over shoulder, which will be interesting. I don't know. There is so, like, even just the base game, I probably play 20% of it now. I don't do Pokemon beauty contests. I don't do the whatever cloud game they have going on, Dream World or whatever else.
No.
You know what I mean? So,
I really only like the originals anyways.
Yeah, to be fair. It's just a fun RPG, you know what I mean? And now that they've started adding some story to them, it's actually I'm hyped. I like it. I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna pretend the rest of the angry people don't exist. Next up, Astral Chain.
Game looked weird.
Weird.
Kind of like it.
Here's the thing. First of all, it's Platinum Games.
Yeah.
So it'd be fucking fun if nothing else. And honestly, this looked like Nintendo making classic Nintendo games, throwing out something weird and interesting, but it's going to be a fun beat 'em up. I mean, honestly, I know that not all their games have been financially successful. I don't know if I've ever played a Platinum game I didn't like. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no,
you know, it took until Nier before they kind of got financially successful. But like all of their games, I'm pretty sure Hideki Kamiya has blocked me on Twitter because he fucking swears and yells at everyone. You can send him a message and be like, "Oh, thank you so much for the wonderful games, Kamiya-san," and he'll be like, "Fuck you and your mother," and just block you on Twitter. It's absolutely hilarious. He was the guy. I don't know if you remember when there was that whole, I think it was Cuphead, was kind of where it originated, where it was when we realized the people that most magazines and online things pay to play video games suck at them.
Yeah.
And someone asked him what he thought about adding an easy mode to the game, and his response was just like, ask your fucking mom. Like, he is absolutely hilarious. But great game developer. Yeah, so I'm not super hyped because I haven't seen really the game.
That's the thing, is I want to see actual legit Switch gameplay, because like, I don't know, I'm just worried about some of the performance with after playing the Daemon X Machina. I'm just a little nervous on some of these games, because it looks kind of like the same style almost.
Well, the thing is though is that Platinum's developing this one specifically for
the
Switch,
hopefully
so
that
should be
help.
good. Yeah, a lot of stuff doesn't translate because, again, Switch it's gimmicky, and a lot of stuff, like The Witcher, is not going to be a good translation to it, for example. Stuff that's meant for an actual controller setup is not going to work well on it, but whatever. Next one, another really odd choice for the Switch, period. Empire of Sin. It's the Gangsta.
Oh yeah,
Nintendo
and the Mafia game.
Nintendo and Paradox. If I were to think of two companies that would never team up, Grand Strategy, Hearts of Iron, Europa Universalis, Stellaris, and making a game called Empire of Sin about building a gangster empire on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, no, that one threw me off when I saw that one.
That really seemed out of place.
Nintendo's going gangster.
Another really long release, spring 2020. I don't know what's up with it, but hey, you know what? I'm intrigued. I like Paradox games. Don't know if I'd ever want to play one on the Switch.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think Stellaris on the Switch, Crusader Kings on the Switch, Imperial Rome on the Switch. I don't know.
I don't think it would play well.
Don't think so. But hey, whatever. Like I said, it looks like they are trying to throw some stuff out there that's a little different to keep the more mature gamers interested. So props for trying, even if it isn't necessarily the biggest thing. So this is the one that killed any hype I would ever possibly have for that other Avengers game. And this is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Yes. Which is what I thought the other Avengers was. I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to kind of get an Ultimate Alliance vibe out of this. And then, no, they're actually making an Alliance 3. And it's out in July. July 19th. I love the other ones. I played the absolute shit out of them. Great action RPGs.
Just a little bit, though.
It's great action RPG games. Really, I love the previous. They sold like gangbusters. Avengers are on fucking fire right now as a franchise. So, and it looks like they're drawing specifically from the MCU characters. So I got nothing bad to say about this.
They're gonna be the first one out. That's pretty good for them.
Well, this is the I'm surprised. Honestly,
you would want to be out around now.
I was really surprised over, say, the last 2 or 3 years over the lack of Marvel games, given that we're kind of now reaching the end of that Avengers cycle.
Yeah.
I expected these to come out, 2-3 years ago, but hey, this is where you want to be. This is going to sell 1 million copies based on the name alone for people who say, oh yeah, my kid likes the Avengers.
Yeah.
So, looking good. The only thing that really annoyed me is they were already shilling expansion packs.
Yeah.
Which I think is lame. I understand you got to do it, but don't do it on the release of the game. I really hate day one DLC shit, because it's like, I know you're trying to incentivize pre-orders or Sony exclusives or whatever for it, but this is a Nintendo exclusive game as far as I can tell. Yeah. So why are you having day one DLC? Like, Nintendo just doesn't do that. I mean, I know it's an outside studio, but anyway, whatever. That's just one of my hang-ups. So, Cadence of Hyrule. I looked at this and I was like, "Lol, what?"
Yeah.
I actually played Crypt of the Necrodancer. It is brutally fucking hard game because it's roguelike with a rhythm game.
Yeah.
So you have to do your attacks and movement to the beat. Very weird niche. Odd that it would get a mainstream crossover. Like, Nintendo does a lot of crossover stuff. Like, they're probably the kings of it. And when you see one like Hyrule Warriors, where it's like Dynasty Warriors meets it, then you say, okay, 2 big franchises, wham, going together. But, like, Crypt of the Necrodancer was like this niche little indie game. And don't get me wrong, it was fun. But I have no idea how they ever managed to contact someone at Nintendo to say, like, hey, let's put Link in this.
Let's collab.
And then someone at Nintendo was like, yeah, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, but hey,
there must be a job title there. There's a fuck it guy for licensing IPs to different ideas.
Exactly.
Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, exactly. But hey, whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll probably play it as long as it's cheap. If they want, anything more than $20, there's no way. Yeah. But at the same time, if it's
is it out already?
They didn't put a date. I don't know whether it's out now or very shortly.
I saw people playing. I think I saw it on Twitch when I was browsing around for stuff. It might already be out, or at least a demo.
Yeah, or they've got the influencer copy out now, right? And then we have Mario and Sonic at the 2020 Olympics. I like the previous ones.
Yeah, it should be fun to get a little fun party game.
They showed a lot of different sports. A lot.
There's a lot in that game.
So and the other ones have been kind of the Wii Sports of the series. So yeah, I'm not a whole lot to say about it other than if it's anything like the others, it's a great party game.
How does it work canon wise? Like, how is Sonic not just like
Yeah, I actually don't know. In previous ones, they've always been more fun stuff. There hasn't been just like a 100-meter race or something.
Yeah.
It's always been, because, I mean, how would you even do that? Who can mash A the fastest? You know what I mean? So they've always been stuff like, fencing, high jump, stuff like that. So, I mean, even Sonic would obviously win the long jump.
Yeah, like, he should just win most of the events.
Gotta go fast. Looks more interesting than the Sonic movie, that's for sure.
Yeah. Is the movie out?
I don't know. It comes out soon. I'm gonna see it, honestly, because Jim Carrey as Robotnik looks like old school Ace Ventura Pet Detective Jim Carrey being just a doofus.
Yeah.
The movie itself looks terrible, though.
It looks pretty bad.
But yeah, hopefully continues the fun of that. Again, as long as it doesn't have a giant high price tag on it, I'll be all over that one. Animal Crossing, New Horizons, quite a long release date, which they actually apologized. How amazing is that, having the guy come out and apologize?
We're sorry that our game's been delayed, but we want to give you the best... Normally you just hear like an article about it later, but no, like the guy actually comes out and is like, hey, we want to make it better.
Exactly.
Give us some time.
Exactly. Never been a huge fan of Animal Crossing, to be honest.
I never got into it. But man, there's some from the reactions I've heard and how badly people were wanting it at it like a couple directs ago.
Yeah, there's a huge call.
Huge call for this game.
Yeah. So yeah, I am. Hey, great. I may give it a try. I don't like games because the thing about it is there's a real time aspect. So like you plant a tree and 3 real life days later it goes back.
Yeah.
That to me, I just never had the patience for. Because when I play a game, it's usually like I've got 5 hours in a row available. I may not have more hours available till 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, for kids, it's a great thing. And like you said, there's a huge call. People have been clamoring for this for years.
Oh yeah, people love the franchise.
So yeah, go for it. So yeah, 2020. I mean, still another year and change, but actually, it wouldn't be quite a year.
Hopefully, it lives up to whatever the expectations for that game are. I'm not really too sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Like from what I saw, I don't know. Is that what people want? I don't know.
I don't know. You tell us.
You tell us.
Our 7 listeners. And then a whole bunch of third-party highlights at the end. And following up with a very brief letting us know that a Breath of the Wild sequel is on the way.
Yeah, so they're just going to, like, looks like Wild Cataclysm the world and have a sequel on it?
Looks, I don't know. I mean, hey, Breath of the Wild, I mean, Zelda's never... I don't know how they've consistently made so many great games in one franchise. Yeah. But Breath of the Wild is outstanding even amongst them. Like, I would put it under Zelda. Like, Link to the Past is still my favorite. Then 64. I'd say Breath of the Wild comes after that for me. So the fact that they're doing a sequel, hopefully it has that same kind of free form, here's 50 dungeons to go do as you see fit kind of feel to it. But yeah, that was a very strong finish.
Oh yeah, it's like, hey, we're working on this.
We're working on it. Bethesda pulled the same thing last year. I don't know if you remember. They kind of capped off being like, oh, by the way, we're working on Elder Scrolls 6.
Here's Elder Scrolls 6.
But this one actually had me amped up.
I'll buy it the 9th time it comes out.
Yeah, exactly. Once we've fixed at least some of the bugs and it's on the 3rd generation after it came out. Because like I said, I still have a PlayStation 3, I think, version of Skyrim kicking around someplace. Anyway, but yeah, that's how it ended off, and then Breath of the Wild. So to me... the toss-up for, I would say, best presentation was Microsoft and Nintendo were the strongest.
Yeah.
Both of them stuck to, you're here for games, here's games. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think I like Nintendo's better, not because I think it was necessarily a better presentation, but it just had the most games I was interested in. You know what I mean? Like, say there's 20 games here. 15 of them are, as long as it's not full price, I'm going to buy them, and 3 of them are, I'll buy them at $80.
Yeah.
Microsoft, there was a whole lot of, okay, I'll buy this if it's $20, I'll buy this if it's on sale, but yeah. So overall, kind of coming back around, I thought
what, Doug Bowser did a great job.
Yes.
Seems like a hilarious guy.
He does. I like
how they managed to make a Bowser be the president of Nintendo America is amazing.
That's like, solely. I don't think he actually has any function.
Yeah, like he got hired one day. Yeah, and they're like, we're gonna make this happen one day.
Like the actual job duties of President of America is to be named Bowser.
Yeah,
President of Nintendo of America. Like he doesn't actually do anything with the games. It's a completely honorary title. But we needed some. What your name has to be. Last name has to be Mario, Toadstool, or Bowser. Yeah. And he was Bowser, so he got the job.
They got him. He used to be, they just hired him one day and like, hey, you're an employee now. Yeah. When the time is right, you're going to get a promotion.
Yeah, exactly. And,
yeah.
You know, they hired like he started in like as a janitor or something, had no programming, business knowledge, nothing, but his name was Bowser. So
and they sent him to school. They trained him.
Yeah, exactly.
They made him into the man he is today.
Exactly.
Nintendo shaped him. They made him a leader.
He was molded in their image.
He was molded because he had the chosen name. To lead Nintendo into the future.
Yeah. Either that, or he became president, and like there's a clause in it that says must legally change name to Bowser.
And they went back through all of history and changed everything.
Exactly. But what can I say? I think overall this year, like I said at the beginning, the theme is retreading common ground. Yeah. A lot of remakes, re-releases, very little new IP. Actually, almost no new IP.
Next year, it just seems like next year's is going to be a good year because they'll be able to show stuff that's going to be on the new consoles.
Exactly,
and they'll actually probably have more gameplay.
Yes,
so.
Though I will say Microsoft had a surprisingly strong. It's kind of interesting because you know how if we go back a few years to where we had the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 facing off, and Microsoft really phoned it in, and Sony kind of jumped all over it. Mm-hmm. I feel we're seeing a reverse of that right now. Sony just kind of tapped out. Like, you could have made Sony's E3 conference could have been half an hour about fucking Death Stranding, and it still would have.
They have some. They have some interesting games like what's that one? Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Like they could show. Have they showed anything for that? I don't know. Maybe they'll just show more at like what's next, like Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, I think that's the next one.
So, I don't know. We'll wait and see what they have to show. But no, I don't know. Hopefully they have some more games next year. But I mean, a lot of the cool games that I'm hyped for will be out by next year.
Most of the Nintendo ones will be out before the end of this year.
Most will be out for the end of this year. So yeah, like Xbox-wise, and the new Halo won't be until the new system. So they'll probably show gameplay of the next Halo next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of a sleeper year. And just the way the industry is going right now, it's really no new IP that I'm excited about. It's kind of just reinforcing what I already believe in and just getting hyped for stuff that's older.
Exactly. Though I do think there is a lot of good, there's been some things in the past which were just blatant, okay, this is a nostalgia cash-in. We're re-releasing it with almost no changes, or we haven't done whatever. I think even though I'm not a fan of playing on the past, because again, a year or two and all the classics have burned out that way, I think they're starting to do a lot of it right. The nostalgia kicks they're picking up on look like they're going to be done some justice in the modern era, and not just, we made this game and slapped this skin on it to make it nostalgic. So, So I'm looking forward to it. Not a whole lot, like I said, certainly not enough hype train for me to even need to lube up this year.
No.
A few things, mostly Nintendo stuff I'm looking for, but to be honest, the stuff I'm looking at is not like, this is going to wow me and keep me busy for 3 weeks. This is more like, this would be a fun afternoon with friends, or...
I'd say like the games I'm most excited to play would be number one Cyberpunk, and then it would just be, it's going to be fun to go fuck around in Ghost Recon.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun to go fuck around with the cool systems in Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for like games that are like I'm like, I really want to get deep into them. Like those games are just fun to play for a bit, fuck around, have fun.
Yeah.
But
like with Watch Dogs, I guarantee I will never complete the story.
Oh no.
I will just have a lot of fun. It's like Grand Theft Auto. Maybe if it's the only game you own, you finish story mode. Otherwise, it's just a fuck around game. And Watch Dogs looks like it's going to be a lot like that.
Fuck around. Oh, you know what? I might even just wait on that one until I can get it on some deal on...
Well, I'm going to say I'm definitely waiting for reviews post-launch because the previous ones had such terrible launches. So I'm not jumping into that. I generally don't pre-order. I've gotten into I no longer pre-order stuff. It's not worth it for exclusives and stuff.
Well, it's funny how... Uplay has basically made itself relevant because everyone's boycotting Epic.
Yeah.
Because they'll release it on Uplay as well and then be Epic exclusive, and then it's just like, let's buy it on Uplay then.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're just like 40 chess making Uplay viable.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in Microsoft, like I said, Uplay and Microsoft is how we're going to get around having to buy stuff on the Epic Store. Like I said, I refuse to, I understand if you want to launch your console strong, platform strong, I get it, but like, buying out games, like, for example, I didn't get into it, but Shenmue 3, okay? Yeah. I kickstarted that game.
Yeah, and then they send you out a thing saying, like, hey, you want your Steam code?
Yeah, I'm actually charging that back if they don't give me a Steam code, because I actually paid for it and picked Steam code.
Yeah.
If they say it's only on Epic now, I will go back through my bank and charge it back. And if they don't think you can do it that many years back, I got bad news for you. You can. I don't normally go through this much effort because, to be frank and honest, my gaming budget is larger than the GDP of some small countries. But for people who, who don't buy 10 games in a month, or who don't, they're only looking forward to a few games each year kind of thing. Like, this is a huge letdown. And yes, I know the Epic Store launcher is free, but I've already got 4 fucking launchers on my thing. I've got Uplay, because you fucking need it for games that are on Steam.
Yeah.
I've got Origin, only because I used to have
GOG.
I've got GOG, and I only have GOG because it used to be you had to go there to get all the classics. You know what I mean? And I think The Witcher 3 was actually the last game I bought on there. And then I have Steam.
Yeah.
I don't want to add another one, especially such a useless goddamn platform. No shopping cart.
Yeah.
No reviews.
No local currencies.
No local currencies. Absolutely. And there's no reason why they couldn't have done that from the get-go. You know what I mean? The fact that you're trying to sell me a game and you can't even put a simple star rating on it.
Yeah.
I understand if you don't want to have big commentary threads because you don't want to have to moderate all the assholes, putting, it's a game with Nazis, Heil Hitler into it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fine. You don't want to deal with that shit, fine. But have a number. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, A to F, I don't care what it is.
Yeah, some sort of rating system.
Right. Have a fucking shopping cart. Jesus Christ.
They don't have a shopping cart?
They don't have a shopping cart. You buy them one at a time.
Oh, Jesus.
And then just the scummy practices of being like, okay, here's this game that was promised to be released for something else. We're going to give them an extra $1 million so it's exclusive to us for a year.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you the only reason they've made it a year exclusive and total exclusive is because it would be a total breach of contract if they made it a full exclusive
Probably.
for people who pre-ordered.
And I find, if it was a game that's coming out a long time from now, fine, whatever. If you put the money in up front, all the games where they're the ones that have been kickstarted, promised to be on Steam, and then the developers got some money, and now it's on Epic. That's just really scummy and douchey.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah.
So
no, and it's ridiculous. Like I said, you want to develop games for your own platform, fine. Everyone does that. EA has done that for Origin for I don't know how long. Like I said, you still need Uplay to play all the Ubisoft games on Steam.
I'm fine with that. If you publish the game and you want to make it exclusive on your own platform, go for it.
But and stuff like with Rocket League, where they've bought an existing game that's been out for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
Oh, now you can only buy it on here.
Rocket League, it's on everything now.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but it's not on Steam anymore.
Yeah.
They bought
it's not on Steam?
No, they bought They brought the studio. Epic bought the studio, and Rocket League is now a fucking Epic exclusive. Problem is, no one's still buying it. Everyone's already got it.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, that kind of practice, I'm sorry, I will boycott your stuff out of principle. And I am a lazy motherfucker. It takes a lot to make me boycott something out of principle. I buy shit from Walmart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes a lot to make me say, you know what, I'm making a stand against your bullshit. And it really bugs me, because I actually liked Epic Games as a company before this. I had no problem with them.
Yeah.
Now, Fortnite isn't my thing, but they've been around a long time. They made some classics, but
I don't know. They've gone AWOL.
They've gone off the deep end, and I think it's really going to backfire. I think they're going to realize that okay, you know what? Steam sucked at launch too, but they have developed themselves to just this degree. You can do all your social. They're basically a social media platform unto themselves for gaming. I can connect. I can click you and be like, okay, I'm jumping into a game with Gapper.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Reviews, discussions. You can talk to the developers of the game about their game on there. All my stuff in a nice library. I think people don't understand how lazy a lot of gamers are. I have Itch as well for a platform. A lot of indie games and betas come out on itch.io, which I never go to because as soon as it releases on Steam, I never play it on Itch again. Yeah. Right? So I just don't get it. But hey, you know what? Whatever. I think it's going to be an okay year for games. I think it's just there's nothing exciting and innovating, but what's coming looks solid. Yeah. Keep me entertained for this year. And there's plenty of things that I've missed that I can catch up on in the meantime.
There's a lot I have to catch up on, but it's hard to go back. And you know what? Classic WoW's coming out. I want to go into that pretty hard. So
okay, I won't be.
I'm in.
Fair enough.
That and PoE. about it.
I could jump back into Path of Exile. I played it back when it came out, and there's only like 3 chapters in it, and I cleared it about twice and just got sick of it. But for those who aren't aware, Path of Exile is basically Diablo 3, as Diablo 3 should have been.
Yeah.
For lack of a better description.
They have the 4.0 patches coming out, I think, this like November or December, so it's going to be pretty crazy.
Another big expansion?
Yeah.
A big update, I should say.
Yeah,
it's not really an expansion.
like a mega update.
Yeah.
And then, the new league just started there last week.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. It's a fun league.
It's a fun game. Definitely worth
trying. They
trying.
rebalanced melee, so I'm just spin to win Cyclone.
Okay.
Really brings back my Diablo Barbarian days.
There you go.
But,
fair enough.
Yeah.
We won't get too deep into that just because you've been listening to us for almost 3 hours, which is at least 2 hours less than you normally listen if you listen to all of our E3 stuff before. Yeah. But, so I think it's a bit of a lull in the tide, but overall I'm optimistic about games this year. And I think it's going to be, if nothing else, what's coming out. It may be tried and true, but it looks like it'll at least be entertaining. So
yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Some things I want to definitely get. And then, hopefully next year shows us a lot more cool things to get excited for.
I'd like to see some more boldness, a little bit more steps outside the comfort zone next year. But apart from that, I'm not going to complain overall. I will say I do hope they keep it short and sweet again. Like I said, the research phase for this wasn't a full week's worth of a part-time job this time. It was just a couple of late nights. So I'm definitely down for that. Well, this seems like as good a place to sign off as anyway.
Yeah.
So I've been your host, Victor von Fragenstein.
And I'm Gapper.
And odds are you're not going to see us again for another year, but
see you next year.
See you next year. Peace.